going on, everybody? Welcome to the Rando Convo podcast. Let's fucking go, bruh.
We didn't finish our discussion on which topics, bro.
Shit, we're gonna freestyle it this week then.
Nigga, you just said professional.
I mean, professionalist, you know what I'm saying?
Nick,
like,
let me read where's my phone?
We wrote it down, but this week, every week we come at you with 3, sometimes 4 topics if we're feeling about it.
Some may say too much topic.
Some may say too little. But we bring it to you regardless. We come at you first with our rando thoughts. Nana, what's your rando thought, bro?
First, you already know what's going on. It's your boy. How y'all living? You feel me? It's another beautiful day to be alive. Whenever you listen to it. Shout out to you for just even hitting play. Lord knows what are we in? Episode 4?
Yeah, it's episode 4, bro.
Episode 4.
Man, SoundCloud, bro. SoundCloud been going to war with us.
Tell him, Nick. Tell him what happened, bro.
We can honestly, I'll get into that in a little bit.
All right, I gotta get my random thought. All right.
It's all good. Editing is a beautiful thing.
Nah, we gonna look. Editing, no editing. We tend to ramble, but we already starting off on the ramble. Random thought of this week. We gonna keep it simple. Be careful who you trust, cause you never know who really on your team or not. It's just that simple or not.
Okay.
You feel me? Trust who you want to trust. I like to always just give people a nice little proverb. Nigalations, you feel me?
Niggalation.
3:17.
Wow.
Your niggas, not your niggas.
Wow.
For all my nigga saying people, you feel me? Your homies, not your homies.
All right.
It's as simple as it sounds, you feel me? Trust who you want to trust, but just know it could be any, it could be every. Do what you need to do.
Well said.
Thank you.
My rando thought is always press send. I'm sorry, always press save.
Oh, true.
Always press save.
That is a proverb from young video game days,
God,
the Game Boy days.
And this happened to me in the past, but this week I was working with an artist, showed me his beat, dope ass beat. Just made it that morning. Looks at me and says, "Nick, my entire project is gone." I didn't even know what to say to him, to be honest.
The entire
project is gone because he wanted to open up another project they've been working on.
Shit.
He had an opportunity to name his project and save it right there. Chose not to do it. Said, "I'll do it later." Later never came.
Whew. That's tragic.
So if you're out there, you working on whether it's some music, whether it's some art, whether it's an expense report, always press save.
Good rando thought.
Thank you. But we're going to get into it, bro.
What's going on?
You say you didn't want to talk about this first.
I mean,
but before we get the other topics, we might as well get it out the way.
If that's how you
might
feeling.
As well, man.
I was trying to figure out what the other topic options were since we freestyling.
Man, we're going to get it. We're going to get it popping. This is going to,
sure?
honestly, this is going to be one of our shorter ones because we're working on making them shorter.
Okay. I like what
we've been taking some advice from the fans out there. Shouts out to y'all. Shouts out to y'all.
Yeah, shout out to you.
One comment that I've heard from a friend, I'm not going to put a name out there. But
sneak this.
It's like, don't make the podcast Titanic. I feel it. I low-key hate Titanic except for like the last 50 minutes. So I feel it.
Appreciate y'all who
because you're not just saying it's long, you're saying it's bloated too.
Yeah.
So I respect that. So we gonna get it popping. We gonna get straight to the point.
That's what they call growth.
I'm saying, like, we gonna grow every single week. We gonna get the video. Honestly, video next week. Got my, I'm saying, we got a new studio.
The truth.
So we got a whole new setup coming. We're gonna have video in the right way. We did video the first week.
Oh, I figured out our topics.
Excellent.
Wait, am I supposed to say them?
Yeah, go ahead.
Was you gonna announce them like that?
Not even announce them all. Announce what you want to go first with.
All right, we're going first. We're gonna go straight into the shooting down in Louisiana.
Okay.
Here, we're gonna go down shooting down.
Lead the way for me.
All right, hold on. Let me put up an article because it's always a good day when TMZ breaks articles to you bright and early. I feel like every time I see a TMZ article, now I gotta have worry.
Sorry, some spicy shit.
I don't know, man. After they broke the Kobe shit, it just seems like They're just a headline for
Was
bad
that
news.
the morning?
It was afternoonish, but like
I remember I was at work. Like I was at work when that happened, and it was like maybe like noon. Would that be a good? You think that's a good time to say?
I got that shit like 2 p.m.
Maybe I was working so hard that day. It was just when that shit like hit me, that shit was like a ton of bricks,
bro. TMZ broke it. I didn't want to believe it. So now I'm motherfucking. When I send this to
respect
you,
that TMZ.
you feel me? Now, nah, I can't disrespect now after they giving out information like this. It's big. I still don't really like fuck with how they do their business, but they credible.
Their paparazzi shit, yeah. Like you can't fuck with that.
Well, when I sent you this, I sent you this morning.
What?
The article.
Yeah, you sent me it this morning. I skimmed through it.
All right, cool.
You know,
so I said I'm just
nothing new.
It isn't, ain't it?
You know what I'm saying? Like
but
it's same headline, different day. Unfortunately,
scrolling through the news like people usually do because no one really reads newspaper no more.
Right.
Phone news.
Articles. I do some most of the time.
Cool.
Not even a newspaper, but you know, just going on your news app on your phone.
All right, so you just gonna repeat what I said, huh?
I mean, the news app has kind of replaced newspapers.
I just said read news articles like people do on their phone, bro.
I didn't hear that.
Because you're not listening. That's what happened in the last podcast.
That's debatable.
Here we go. Like I said, reading news articles because people don't really read newspapers no more.
Right.
And I stumbled upon this TMZ little article. So, from what I'm reading, black man walking with a knife. Apparently, an incident had happened on the highway between him and another individual. The police tried to apprehend him, if you will. Then they tried to tase him. He kept walking. He got to the door of what seems to be a gas station, opened the door, or attempted to open the door. And what it says, they fired 11 bullets at him. It was about, I would say 3-4 cops, maybe 5.
I guess my question always is why? Like, what was the need to fire shots at him at that stage? Because when I think of what a cop is supposed to do,
supposed to apprehend people.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to be, was it Judge Dredd? You're not supposed to be charging these niggas basically and killing them on the spot. That's not your job. Your job is to enforce the law, serve the community, and apprehend people who are breaking the law. That's all you're supposed to do. When you kill somebody, you're taking the law into your own hands at that point. It just frustrates me, man. It really does.
I just think I've seen so many videos where cops have actually apprehended more dangerous people,
right,
of different skin tone,
right,
with more dangerous situations, and literally apprehended them. No,
hell, take some to Burger King right before.
No shooting
right before you go to jail.
No shooting. Shooting even looked like it was part of the equation,
right?
And I'm not gonna sit here and defend the old boy for one not adhering to the police because you got to understand. What I've actually, me personally, I feel like I'm starting to understand is the police that we have today's age, even though their job is to serve and protect, they're not going to put their lives over our lives. It's been made quite clear.
And look, from a human perspective, I understand that. Because when you are, I won't cap, being a cop is one of the hardest jobs to possibly have.
Would you say putting your life over the life of the civilians? Or putting the civilians' lives, if you will, over the lives of yourself would be part of that job title?
I feel like in principle, in like theory, yes. But when you get into individual situations, I just look at myself. Like if I was a cop and even if I made that pledge, like it's still my life. And like, for example, like I feel like for some cops, like
that's fair.
Maybe you have a situation where your homie died off of some random shit, like trying to do the right thing. You know, like you've seen cops try to do the right thing and they end up dead. So I've talked to cops. I see from some perspective, like it's not always as clean as we have to put our lives ahead of everybody else's. It's like they're human. So I get it on that level. But when I see situations like this, where the guy wasn't going to harm you, you know what I'm saying?
I think the real worry was he still had a knife on him. They had already tased him. Still walking, and then he opens the door to a store. Now that I guess the claim is he's about to go harm someone else.
Okay. 11 shots though.
It seems excessive.
It seems dangerous to everybody else in the store too, right?
I mean, they hit him with all 11. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like there was a better way to handle this situation.
I guess if it's 2, we don't complain as much. What's the situation?
I guess my other thing is, it's always a shoot to kill.
It is.
I wish there was another way you could do it, where you do not shoot to kill, you shoot to apprehend.
Like I said, I feel like I've seen so many videos. Maybe, every cop's not the same cop. They don't got the same level of training, expertise, talent, mindset, whatever.
Oh, they definitely don't. Yeah, it ranges.
It does range. I'm assuming that's how every job works.
Right.
But I've seen cops apprehend more dangerous situations, if you will, because he had a knife.
He wasn't a good actor. Like, he wasn't somebody like, let's say, like a Philando Castile, who literally got shot in his car for doing nothing.
No, he wasn't.
It wasn't that kind of situation.
He was definitely not abiding.
Right.
But 11 shots, you'd think they'd be able to get him to the ground before they had to do that part. But no.
It depresses me, and it doesn't seem like that's going to change. You know what I'm saying? It feels almost like a hopeless situation sometimes.
I don't think this change is going to be overnight, but I don't want to say it's impossible.
It's not impossible. I'm saying with the way things are going right now, like the direction that it seems like things are headed, is like we're defunding the police in some counties. That's good. But it's not going to change the fact that there are bad cops.
Oh, for sure.
Who are not going to, do the right thing.
I mean, how do you get rid of bad people?
You can't ever get rid of bad people. But you can get rid of people who are not performing at the adequate level. That jobs do that all the time.
I think they're starting to do more research on racial profiling and stuff like that. And it'll be cool to have numbers back up, an argument.
Right.
But I think at the end of the day, you have to look who is counting the numbers, who is doing the numbering, if you will.
Yeah, but when you look at doing like
stats,
police unions, all that, like, for example, they're all throwing their support under Donald Trump, and Donald Trump wants them to be even more hawkish. So when you have a whole side of politics who literally likes what the police are doing, like thinks everything is okay.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to.
And the other side, while is not saying like they like what's going on, but when you look at their policy, it's like, what are you really going to do? It's like when you have both sides who are, to me, just not good enough. Like, one is definitely better, but I would not call either one of them good enough.
I think right now the system they have is the police checking the police, and it's very hard to tell someone to check themselves.
Absolutely. Like, I think, and that's one thing, like, why I like the pick for Kamala Harris because she is a cop. So maybe you can come at it from a cop's perspective and maybe get changed, maybe it'll be easier for them to listen to somebody who's actually, been involved. She hasn't been like a cop in terms of like, she's out here solving cases. She's not out here doing all that. But she was a district attorney. So she was working with cops.
Tough.
She has conversations with, leaders in that field. I think that is a positive step. It'd be better than anything on the other side, most definitely. But I think it starts from the top down. It starts with establishing a tone. And I don't think really since we've been born, I don't think the right tone has been set in our country. I think things have gotten, to the point where they are now where people are just fed up. And it's super disheartening when you see headlines like that. When you sent that to me today, I was just like, another one? Damn. Yeah. Like, I'm numb to it.
It's a shame. Like I said, this change is long overdue. But like I said, it's not going to be overnight. But I don't think I think it's coming. It's
hopefully
definitely not impossible.
I hope so, bro. What I will say though is I think that change can come if the people want it enough. That's how change usually happens. Now, I don't know what that looks like.
A little effort is going to have to be involved.
Like, I don't think it's going to just magically change based on, just us acting like our politicians are going to do the right things. I think they have to be forced to do the right things.
For sure. I think the way the same energy that was given to the Redskins for them to change their name has to be given to, obviously in a larger scale and probably a little more detail needs to be involved, but the same mindset, same energy, could definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
get changed.
Because really, the Redskins changing their name. Like, what the fuck does that do? Like, do I like it? Yeah, of course. Like, I like the fact that their name is being changed, but that don't affect my day to day
at all. But it's cool to know that money is forever going to cause the pressure that you think it will.
Oh, definitely, man. But what else you got to say about it, bro? Do you think that, I don't know, do you think this is a situation that overall you don't think it's a situation to justify that amount of violence?
11 shots is...
What would you think would be acceptable?
See, that's the fun of it. Is it 2 shots? Is it 3 shots? I'd rather them apprehend him without shooting him. But
okay, me too.
If their case is going to be, we had to stop him before he hurt other civilians, he probably should have.
I think that's a fair case. I wouldn't say that's a bad case.
I mean, once you tased him and he didn't go down, you had to realize someone either is going to tackle him or shoot him. And y'all obviously all made the decision to shoot because 11 shots, it's an absurd number.
Now, I guess it's always a question of if his skin complexion was different, would the same thing have happened?
I doubt it, but we can make this argument back and forth. People will argue
it's hard to prove that, but based on what I've seen in my lifetime,
I think the reality is quite simple. It's more often than it should be.
I don't think we can disagree on that. It's too often. It's too prevalent. It's too out of control at this point. And I hear these stories at least like once a month,
if not more.
It depends on the month. Some months it's like I hear it 3 times. I'm like, yo. Sometimes it's people who maybe you don't know, but people who it's like, oh, I could see that person in my circle. Especially as I get older. Like when I was younger, it would mostly be like these people older than me getting shot.
Word.
But now it's like, I'm 25 years old. Like the people getting shot are usually as old as me, if not a little younger than me.
Yeah.
So it kind of hits. I'm like, yo, I have little cousins who could just be caught up in the wrong situation, you know?
It's just an overall disappointing.
But, you know, we could leave it at that, man. It's a depressing situation. Hope it gets better. I mean, it could get a lot worse, but hopefully it don't.
You gotta look up. That's one thing you can do.
But what I will say is we got to get to some positive shit.
Go ahead.
We got to get to these motherfucking playoffs, man. Now, I hold steadfast in my belief that this is not the same NBA season.
You should put a sports alert so people know we're about to get
sports alert.
Go ahead.
Motherfucking sports alert here, man.
What's going on?
This is the motherfucking playoffs. NBA playoffs going on right now.
Fantastic, if you ask me.
Like I said, this is not the playoffs for the 2019-2020 season. This is its own thing. I'm completely here for it. It's its own thing, though.
The fact that you had to make that statement off rip says
no, I do and I respect the players for, holding true to making the season work because this wouldn't have happened without their sacrifice. So I appreciate all y'all, whether y'all are doing well in the bubble or y'all are doing awful. All of y'all deserve thanks. So appreciate any NBA player out there playing. Let's get into these motherfucking standings right now.
Good job covering yourself.
Covering? What you mean?
Go ahead, continue.
What you mean? What you mean, bro?
Had to give the NBA players their credit before you discredited the playoffs.
I'm not discrediting the playoffs. I'm not discrediting it because whoever wins championship this year, while I don't think they are the 2019-2020 champion, you're still a champion.
Mm-hmm.
No matter of the NBA for this season.
All right.
I just don't, because this bubble season is not the same as the other season. Like that's all I'm saying. The other season got scrapped.
Sure.
We're starting anew, basically.
Yeah, that's how you feel.
Now we're using the same records.
That's a coincidence.
But a lot of these teams are different.
Just a crazy coincidence.
I'll give you a perfect example. Where was Nurkic during the regular season?
Hurt.
And you have 5 months to get him healthy. You know what I'm saying? That's a different team. And I'm fine with that. But you know what I'm saying? It's a different team.
It's the reality of our situation, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, of course. But the reality also is admitting that this is not the same season. That's the reality.
If that's how you feel
but we can agree and disagree on that. I would say that the team that has shocked me the most this season, there's 2 teams. Obviously the Blazers.
Okay.
The other is the Jazz.
Word.
Man. Motherfucking Jazz, man. Donovan Mitchell, man.
You said something a couple weeks ago.
I did, and I completely take it back.
Oh, thank
completely
you. Thank
take
you.
it back, bro.
Oh, thank
because
you.
this man has put this team on his back. Because I don't think the Nuggets are like easy pickings. I think some teams would really struggle playing.
They do have
them.
a tendency to fold.
Yeah, I mean they folded last year in the second round. It's not like they lost in the first round. Nothing.
They do have a tendency to do that folding thing, huh?
I don't even think they have a tendency to fold. I think they literally just made the playoffs last year. I think before that they weren't making the playoffs.
Was it just? It's only been 2 years. It's been like
I'm pretty sure it's only been 2 years, bro.
Oh,
like,
Joker's been around how long? 3 years of that.
Yeah, but he wasn't that great first season. He was okay, and then he blew up. I think they still didn't. I think they were close to making the playoffs.
Nah, because this is like their second or third year. But
I don't know. I'm open to being wrong on that, but I don't know.
What are we talking about? 20.
They definitely weren't a like top seed. They definitely were like
not gonna say
7th or 8th seed.
We're talking about 2017 playoffs.
Yeah, I'd say yeah. No cap. I really think they weren't a
playoff team.
I don't think they were. But I always liked them because I always fuck with Jamal Murray. You know, Jamal Murray's always been a favorite of mine.
No, not seeing them. No Nuggets.
Not in the playoffs?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last year was their first blow-up year.
All right. Can I argue with the facts?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they fold every year. You know, like they folded last year, but who'd they play?
Let's find out.
I think did they play the Warriors?
Can't tell you.
No, they didn't play the Warriors because the Warriors played the Clippers, Rockets, and Trailblazers. Who they play? I'm trying to remember. Google will help us.
Don't think too hard.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not thinking too hard now.
Anytime.
Oh no, I'm thinking too hard now. Oh, I stopped. Okay.
San Antonio, then Portland.
Oh, it's a Portland.
Time.
I can't fault them. I wouldn't say they folded.
It's game 7.
I wouldn't say they folded, bro.
If they had them 3-1, would you say it?
If they beat them 3-1?
If they have the series 3-1.
What do you mean? They were up 3-1?
I don't know. I'm just saying it. I'm saying it just in case they were.
Well, yeah, then they fold. I don't think that happened, though. I think it was like a back and forth series. To be fair, I don't remember that series like that.
Me neither.
But I know they didn't. I wouldn't say they folded.
In my recent memory, they have a history of folding. Well, maybe I'm just going off.
Yeah, I don't know where you're getting that off because I don't think they fold. Like I respect them. Like I think they are a solid team. I just think that this year the Jazz just look like they look a lot better since the bubble started.
Yeah, Denver had them 3-2. They ended up losing 4-3. So
that's not that bad. That's not folding. That's not folding. Many teams have been in that position. Like the Rockets have been in that position many times.
Oh, for sure. That's the first step to folding, though, ain't it?
But I would not consider. I wouldn't consider the Rockets. I wouldn't call the Rockets like a folding team.
What else do they do?
They lose, but I wouldn't consider it folding because folding is super disrespectful. Like, would we say every team folds except for the champion?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wouldn't consider.
But if you most definitely have a chance to close out a game and go ahead and you lose back-to-back games, that's a fold. It's not a huge fold. I'm not gonna say it's like you completely dropped a 40
I get what
burger.
you're saying. I'm not. Look, I get what you're saying.
It's
I wouldn't call it
Golden
folding,
State
but we're all about definitions.
It's not no OKC. It's not no OKC Thunder shit. That's a prime.
That's
fold.
folding. That's folding.
What is that, like the base definition of folding?
I'd say that's base folding. And I feel like anything, like we can kind of scale it from there.
That's
if
a little dramatic. I think that's like the definition of like the fold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's.
I still don't think like the other things aren't folding
like
though.
Losing 3-1 is folding.
Yes.
I think losing 3-2
is a baby fold.
But it depends on it depends on your record too. It depends on like what seeding you are too. Because if you have a team, if you're 3-2, but then you
have to lose back-to-back games to lose this series.
Right, but what happens if you have to go on the road for that game 6? That's a little different because that's a harder game to win.
Then you probably are coming home on that game 7, huh?
Yeah, but I'm saying like you lost the game 6
and you folded.
I'm saying if you lose game 6 and then you lose game 7. I'm not really considering that a fold because I see that happen too often in the NBA.
Just because it's consistent,
and I wouldn't say all these teams are folding. I just think they lose.
If they do it in back-to-back seasons, I say you have a trend of folding, don't you think?
I mean,
if you go up in both back-to-back seasons and back-to-back playoff seasons, and do the same thing, you have a folding tendency.
No,
that's how it starts.
No, I feel like you have to have a couple more years of that. I feel like 2 years, and you just got in the playoffs last year. I wouldn't say we know what you are at this point. I say this book is still out on them. I think I have high hopes for them next year. I think next year they're going to be good.
To call an addiction people. Just put that out there. If
you
can
call
see
the Nuggets, you call the Nuggets losing to the Jazz.
Nigga, this looks like a fold. I'm not gonna hold you.
I don't even want to argue that. You said it's an addiction. Talk about dramatic.
I'm just putting
which they be an intervention, nigga.
I'm just saying, bro. Don't let it be too long before you call it an addiction. It is what it is. Notice it early before it becomes a real problem.
Oh my god! I think they need another piece.
The Nuggets. All right, let me ask you this: Would you say there was a majority of people who came into this series thinking the Nuggets had this series in the bag before the ball was even tipped?
I would not say in the bag.
In the bag? No, I think a majority of people
in the bag
had this series 4-2.
No,
really? No. I think a majority.
I feel like a lot of people fuck with Donovan Mitchell. I feel like
I don't think a lot of people.
I feel like a lot of people. A lot of laymen would think he's the best player coming into the series.
Did you see the Jazz offense during the bubble? It was very stagnant.
Yeah, I mean their offense all season had been stagnant.
Jordan Clarkson was having to get some buckets,
and he's been getting buckets.
He still has, but like you didn't even kind of think the Nuggets had an advantage.
An advantage, yes.
But you didn't think they had the series in the bag.
I didn't think they're about to go like sweep these niggas.
You didn't think 4-2 at all?
I thought 4-2 was possible.
All right, but a lot of people.
I thought 4-2 was possible both ways.
A lot of people thought it was Nuggets 4-2.
I thought it could be 4-2 Jazz, 4-2 Nuggets, or 4-3 either team. Like I think it's.
You didn't see a 4-1 either way.
No.
All right.
No, definitely.
It's looking like it might be.
I respect both teams.
It's looking like it might be 4-1.
It does look.
It does
honestly. And
the way the Jazz are shooting.
But I think the Nuggets have one more good game in them. That's it though.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
I don't see the Jazz losing 2 more games.
When the way the Jazz play, if they shoot the way they've been shooting, they're not losing another game.
No,
because the way they play defense is so fundamental. They're such a good half-court defensive team.
You can say that about like 5 teams in the league.
Nah, I think the Jazz might be top 3 half-court defense teams in the league.
Okay, I can't debate that really.
That is how good they like. If they actually make their shots and force you to just run your offense, they are clamps.
And they're gonna play the Clippers next round. I think that's
trouble because that's a team
that's gonna be interesting, but it's like a 4-1 interesting.
That's a team that can actually defend them, so that becomes their problem.
Yeah, I don't see because even if Paul George is struggling, Paul George strapped Donovan Mitchell.
It's your choice, whoever you want to put up there. That whole
team I would definitely put Paul George.
They have Markieff on Doncic.
Not the whole game. Like they switch on him a lot.
I mean, the Clippers look like.
I didn't watch the last game fully, so I'm not speaking on last game. I'm saying just in terms of like what I've seen.
They had him guarding him full court, and on switches they switch everything.
I'd say Donovan Mitchell is more dynamic than
for sure. I don't think Markieff will let that.
Yeah, I don't think Markieff. Not Mark. You mean Marcus?
Is it Marcus? I always get it. Wait, Marquise on the Lakers?
Yeah,
I always get the switch.
They have the better Morris twin.
Matter of opinion, but
it's not a matter of opinion.
What?
Marcus is better
than Markieff. Marquise on the Lakers, right?
Yeah,
yeah. I like Marcus more.
Marcus was on the Knicks earlier this year and was averaging 20.
Okay,
Markieff could. I do like Marcus. Markieff could not do that.
But hear me out. I generally
Markieff has always been on my favorite teams. Was the funny part. So I know like he's good, but he's not his brother. His brother is a legit like. If you have him in the rotation, like within he's one of your top 5 players, you have a championship level team.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't know which one's on which team, but nonetheless, Marcus is definitely the better one.
Yeah.
And yeah, they had him guarding Luka full court. They will switch on everything. Obviously, not gonna do that with Don, but there's their boldness in the way they're willing to let their whole starting 5 guard people is something I love about the Clippers.
It looks like a walking 4-1.
But let's get to this Luka motherfucking Clippers series, bro. With Luka hurting his ankle, man, I think it's wraps.
I mean, he said he's playing game 4.
Was it game 3 actually? Is it game 4?
Game 3 was
no, that was game 3. You're right. It's 2-1. It's 2-1.
He's confident he's gonna play game 4.
You know, I just read something that said it's not even that bad.
Yeah, that's what I read too.
But the way I seen him hobbling off, I'm like, yo, there's no way he's coming in at 100%.
I've seen worse.
I have, but what if you had to just take a guess at what percent he's coming in? What would you put it at?
To me, it doesn't matter.
It
because
doesn't.
His game is not predicated on athleticism.
I will say the way the Clippers,
it's not like prime J.R. Smith hurting his ankle.
All right.
He is so skilled that even if he is not going to be attacking the basket at the same rate, I think he can get his teammates involved at an elite level and maybe lean on Porzingis. I think that's their route to success for the next game.
I believe they're leaning on Porzingis' part.
And he's definitely
Have you seen how much the Clippers have been forcing him to drive in this series?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually they won't let him pull up.
They have a great game plan on him.
No, and I think him twisting his ankle, I think that's the number one thing you take away with the hurt ankle, your ability to lean and cut and drive like that. So,
and I'll put this openly. If Kawhi plays that way
it's done
for the
anyway.
next series, every game remaining in the series,
I think
they're not winning a single game if Kawhi plays like
Kawhi
that.
had his best game of the series, if not the playoffs, this last game. So
Kawhi's had his best game in the bubble.
I can see that. He was hitting shots. I've seen Kawhi hit Toronto.
And it looked effortless.
Oh, for sure.
It didn't look like he was trying too hard.
Another
to do
statement
that.
I told you, bro. Kawhi coming into the bubble looked rusty.
I mean, yeah. And I didn't think he looked rusty. I just don't think he looked as good as he looked
compared to he looks now.
But I wouldn't say it was rusty. I'd say he wasn't like right now. He looks like the best version of himself. Like
what do you call that?
To me, he looks like yesterday looked better than a lot of the performances of last year.
When he played the Lakers, when he first got on the bubble, what did I say? He looked rusty.
I disagreed. And I still disagreed.
What did he look like then?
He looked not as good as now, but I wouldn't say he was rusty. He looked average. He looked like average Kawhi.
I think he had a little rust on him. He wiped it off, and I was
rusty would be like 15 points. Like
I'm not even looking at the numbers.
Just off alone, he's strapped up LeBron. Like that was the one part of it where I'm like, that's not rust.
I'm not looking at the numbers or even what he did defensively.
I think you're saying rusty on one end.
If you saw what he did shooting wise, a lot of his shots, he was short. It looked like he hadn't played basketball in a little bit. That type of rust. That's what I'm saying. What he did with his overall game was perfect Kawhi shit. You feel me? He still ran the offense just fine. What I saw him in his touch, the way he was pulling up with the ball, he even picked it up toward the second half.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying Kawhi coming in looked a little rusty. From then on, he's hit strides, if not better. And I think we saw the complete package the other night.
I respect that. I respect the opinion. I think that Kawhi is...
Yeah, whatever, nigga.
I mean, I'm not going to say I agree with you,
I can tell.
I respect what you're saying. And I think that Kawhi is only going to get better from here.
I can only imagine.
I don't see Kawhi.
Yo, playoff P showing up or not? What's happening?
I wouldn't bet on it.
You wouldn't bet on it?
I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't be surprised, but I would not bet on it.
He has to show up, isn't he?
You would think, right?
It's now or never.
You would think, but it's like, if he doesn't show up, what can we say at this point?
It's a folder at its finest level, because that's what he's become.
I will say he will take the place of James Harden as the most disappointing playoff player.
Why though?
Because
is that because you're anticipating James going to do something in these playoffs?
Not that. It's because James Harden in the past has disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Paul George is disappointed.
Paul George has been to no finals.
I mean, James Harden went to a finals as the third best player. That's a little different. Like I give him credit, but I don't get. It's not like the biggest mark you can give him.
Okay.
Him leading a team to the finals would be a lot more impressive.
Yeah, neither have done it.
James Harden has accomplished more than Paul George.
Yes.
Paul George and James Harden's drop off is just so great from the regular season. That's what makes it so stark. Why you think James Harden is like, I wouldn't even say folder because he doesn't fold per se.
Nick, this is a tendency, ain't it?
What?
James Harden in the playoffs?
Yeah, he's just not as good as he is in the regular season.
He disappears in game sixes.
I would say he's the Peyton Manning of NBA.
Even Peyton Manning figured it out. That's a great comparison, though.
But Peyton Manning
early,
but Peyton Manning once
Brady.
he had the defense. It was once he had the defense in both Super Bowls. To be honest, once he had that defense, then it worked.
And he's always been a man to put up numbers.
James Harden puts up otherworldly numbers.
This is true.
So much respect for his game. Skill wise, maybe the most skillful player in the NBA.
But why in the playoff series? he can't hit the shot.
It's nerves, it seems like.
That's a Folding trait, don't it sound like?
Yeah. I don't want to call him a folder because I'm a big fan, but you might be right. You might be right. Paul George is of the same ilk, though.
I can't say he surpasses James, but he is chasing that shadow like a motherfucking.
And the difference is the drop off isn't as great from the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Like James Harden, it's such a huge drop off.
I think because James Paul George is putting up numbers we haven't seen in, I would say, decades.
I would say James Harden is a once in a lifetime player.
For sure.
I would not call Paul George a once in a lifetime player. Paul George is a once in a 5-year draft player.
He is a 6'10" shooting guard reinventing the small forward position.
Reinventing? I don't know reinventing. I would not say. And he wasn't playing small forward before he came to the Clippers. He was not small forward, shooting guard. He was playing small forward.
He was a shooting guard in Indiana when Danny Granger
was not
there.
when Granger was there. Lance was shooting guard.
He was starting shooting guard, bro. I'm talking when Granger was there.
Oh, come on, he
was the small.
He was small. He was shooting guard then, but as soon as Granger left, he was small forward.
That happened
for like 5 years.
Then he got to OKC.
Small forward.
Melo
was power forward.
Oh, true. Then where else?
He's a small forward. Like Paul George is a small forward. He's not a shooting guard.
But
not a shooting guard.
Now he's in Clippers. What? He's a shooting guard again.
They're just both small forwards. I think they play true positionless basketball.
That is true. They're like
so I would not call him a small forward. I'm sorry, a shooting guard. I keep saying small forward.
I would not
call him a shooting guard.
If you put the line up there, he's playing the two.
He's too tall to play. He's too tall.
He's a 6'10" shooting guard. It's how his game is molded, though.
I put him in the same category
let's
as
just
LeBron,
talk about his game.
KD.
Let's just talk about his game.
All the small forwards.
Let's just talk about his game. Does he not play like a shooting guard?
Does KD not play like a shooting guard?
Yeah.
He's not a shooting guard.
Positionally,
that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like he's not position-wise, he's not a shooting guard.
But you've seen Paul George play the shooting guard position. We even know now he's technically at
I asked you, is Kevin Durant a shooting guard?
No.
So you can't say Paul George is a shooting guard. Those are not shooting guards. They're scoring small forwards.
You will even play Kevin at the 4 before you even not that Paul George can't play the 4. But
in the right system, he can, yeah.
You will definitely see Kevin at the 4 way sooner than you'll see Paul at the 4.
Yeah, because KD has like an inch on him. Like,
and we've always seen Paul at the 2.
No,
You're pretending
we haven't.
He's played it.
I would argue for the majority of career, he's been a small forward. Because I'll give you the first 2 years in Indiana. Then when they get rid of Granger, he's small forward for the next 3 to 4 years. He gets hurt.
Okay.
He's still small forward when he comes back. He goes to OKC. He's the small forward there.
I feel like he played shooting guard a little bit there.
No, he didn't.
All right.
Because Roberson was a shooting guard.
No, you're right.
He's not small. He's not a shooting guard. They had Melo
at the 4. Then he was always the 3.
Yeah, he's not a shooting guard.
Yeah, the rest at the 1.
So he's a small forward, and the point is,
I can't tell you he's not playing shooting guard.
Do I expect him to be this bad in the playoffs? No, I don't expect that. I think that we are due for a comeback game for him.
All right.
But am I going to bet that he's going to be like performing at a MVP like level? No.
I just need him to actually show up and be the Paul George we don't know.
Truth be told, if he just locks down on defense.
Nah, I want the Paul George we don't know. I want pull up P. Not playoff P.
It'd be nice, and if they do have him,
we don't even need MVP.
They are a big threat. But the reason why I don't trust them in terms of like winning, going all the way, is because of Paul George.
Really?
Not because of Kawhi. Kawhi has shown me that he's the same player. You think
Paul George is gonna fold hard enough to ruin this series?
I think it's very possible.
Okay, not gonna argue that.
This is the only reason why I think
he hasn't shown.
This is why I think the Lakers have a chance, because the Lakers have LeBron and we have AD. AD hasn't done enough to show us he's a folder.
Y'all play Houston next, though,
right? And that's the thing. On paper, they are a much better team than us. It's the fact that they have 2 guys who have history of, in your words, folding. That's the one part where I'm like, anything can happen.
There's a hope, there's a chance, huh?
Because on paper, they're a better team.
I think your team is not deep enough to withstand the Rockets, but
that's, I mean, from just a depth standpoint, just the overall, if you take out AD, LeBron, Westbrook, Harden, and just look at the teams, like the role players, the others, oh yeah, they destroy us. They have a lot. They have a deep rotation. They have better coaching.
They figured it out.
Yeah, they have a better pace of play than us. Yeah, they are a great team.
Look, we giving previews.
But if I were to take R2 over their 2,
that's not how basketball plays. But I like your energy.
Sometimes
look, in the key moments, I'll say it does come back to your best players. But we
Like
time traveling.
I say they're probably gonna blow us out.
Neither team has won their series yet, and nothing's set in stone.
Who won the game? The Thunder versus Rockets.
Thunder overtime.
Interesting.
So nothing's set in stone.
Nothing's set in stone.
Best East series right now.
Best East series?
Yes.
It's hard because
none of them are good. That's the right answer.
And that's very depressing, to be honest. Because the Bucks are disappointing. Even the fact that they've won 2 straight games and yet they're still disappointing speaks volumes.
Does Orlando win another game?
No.
What's the problem here?
Because they're not looking impressive.
Okay.
The fact that Orlando even has this is not the Trailblazers.
It's not.
This is a true AFC.
Orlando is one of the better defensive teams in the league at the moment, crazy enough.
And
even before
the Bucks are literally the best offensive team in the league.
Well, now they're showing a little too dependent on Giannis, don't you think?
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, I think Orlando, even though they're about to get gentlemen swept.
Gentlemen swept.
4-1, gentlemen swept.
You know what it sound like?
If they were dominating them these games, sure. But it's like they don't play in a way that I think is going to win a championship.
Someone else has to show up for the Bucks or it's going to be trouble.
I think that Toronto is a problem for them.
I think Toronto might come out the East.
I think it's possible. And
Spicy P, baby. They play such team basketball.
How will it look if Kawhi loses and the Raptors are back in the finals? Like, that's kind of a...
Nick Nurse, coach of the year for a reason.
Oh, no. He's already coach of the year. I can't make an argument for anybody else. Can you?
He's already won it.
Did he? Has he already won it?
Today.
Oh, he won it today.
Pull up.
Yeah. I didn't see. Breaking news. Yeah, thanks. I didn't know that.
Nick Nurse, coach
I mean, shit.
Like, he deserves it.
I can't name a single coach that did a better job than him this year.
You're a past magic guy. You still didn't put that right version up, by the way.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
Maya listened to it Friday and immediately geeked at it. She said, y'all geeked about the Brandon Lee shit, LMAO. Then she said, why did y'all do that sound effect for Michael Jackson's death? And we did the dun 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 one. And I said, that wasn't that deep. You laughed a little. Why you were pretending she hit me back? So
was she offended?
Nah, I think she was like, what's wrong with y'all?
It's the real podcast.
It's the real Rando podcast, baby.
No holds barred. I feel like after you died 10 years ago, we can joke about it.
Nah, we'll cancel culture.
Like, I'm not going to joke about Kobe's death anytime soon.
You won't even do it in 10 years, probably.
I probably won't.
Exactly. You care
I probably won't.
It's about what you care about.
But if somebody said a Kobe joke in 10 years,
you'd have to get over it.
Nothing.
All right.
Say anything.
Fair enough.
You say it now? Oh, no. We're fine.
We canceling?
Yeah. You can't say a bad thing about Kobe now.
LeBron 80, 67 points. Lillard, McCollum 60.
That'll do it soon. But what's your best series in the East?
In the East?
I'm sorry, I didn't even make a choice.
You didn't.
I'd say in a weird way, the Philly Celtic series. In a weird way it is.
Isn't it about to be 3-0?
It is
3-0, yeah.
It's weird because did you watch the last game?
No, not the whole thing.
It was a good game.
I knew it was going to happen.
I felt bad that how the game went in the end because
I saw the highlights though. Come on, bro. Once they realized
it was tied up, and then
they couldn't get a bucket to save their lives.
But it wasn't even that. It was tied because they played hard all game.
All right, I believe
they kept it within 5.
They were giving Embiid the rock a lot. I noticed that.
Yeah, Embiid was balling. Embiid played his best. Like, he couldn't play better. The whole team was actually balling. Like, Josh Richardson was balling.
He's a good addition to that team, bro.
I believe he's the one who committed the foul that ended the game because he committed a clear path foul
on Jason Tatum.
And they had like a minute left.
Oh.
And that put him up by 4.
But didn't Jason Tatum block Embiid right before?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, it's their own downfall. You're over dependent on one player. You're going to do yourself in.
No. Who else do they depend on?
There's no one else.
It's like I can't fault them. Like, they had the worst luck in losing.
I knew once
Ben Simmons is showing anybody who was doubting Ben Simmons is like,
nah.
They would not be down 3-0 with Ben Simmons.
I knew when
they
Ben
might
was
be down, but they're not going to be down 3-0.
I knew when Ben was out for the playoffs, they were already out. It didn't matter.
I did too. Oh, me too.
Yeah, it didn't
I'm
matter.
a huge Ben Simmons fan, so I was like, they have no shot because Ben is crucial to their team.
It was just Embiid and
Almost
Tobias.
more crucial than Embiid, in my opinion. Because Ben Simmons, at the very least, is not going to get tired in the third quarter.
I think you can't have Simmons without Embiid.
I've seen Ben Simmons ball without Embiid.
I think it was more regular season than playoffs.
No, I saw him do it in the playoffs last year against the Nets. Like
no Embiid?
Yeah, he got like 30, like 12, and like 7.
I don't think they can win a series without Embiid.
They can't win a series without either one of them. Yeah. They both have to be together to win a series.
That's for sure.
Especially, maybe if they're playing the Magic, not the Celtics.
And
honestly, people forget their regular season was weird as fuck.
It's because they couldn't shoot.
No, it was because they couldn't win on the road.
Well, whatever that stat matters. If you look at their 3-point percentage, it was poor for a lot of the season.
It mattered, bro. I want you to one day look up their wins at home. It was like they lost maybe like 8 or 7 times at home.
I'll just pull it up.
And then pull it up. They had like a lottery team's record on the road.
I think if you look at the 3-point percentage, you'll lose a lot of games with the way they were shooting their 3-ball. But
no doubt, they let go of Jimmy Butler. They let go of JJ Redick. It's like Al Horford's been awful this year. Like their road and home.
Holy shit!
You see it?
It's as good as the Bucks at home.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's better. It's 30.
They had the best home record in the league.
Yeah, the more wins, less losses. 31-4.
And they had one of the worst road records.
12-26.
That's off, bro.
But you got to look at their plus. Like their win is out of the playoff teams that aren't the Nets and the Magic. Their plus wins is as low as Indiana's.
That's what I'm saying, bro. They are awful on the road, and you put them in a
That's
bubble.
Interesting. I didn't know it was that bad.
That's the only reason I brought it up, bro. I wasn't using it as an excuse. It's historic. I think it's the first time that's ever happened in NBA history.
That's interesting.
So put this team in a bubble where they're far away from Philly. They had no shot. You cannot play basketball that way.
All I know is
regardless of a bubble or not, you're gonna have to win on the road in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the fact.
So the bubble was just exposing them, but it was gonna happen whether it was the first or second round.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that severe, but like I said, I just noticed at a certain point.
And your 6th seed, that you cannot play that way. And it's so bad. I think their coach is getting fired at the end of the year.
No, he's getting fired for sure, especially with the sweep.
It's a question whether this is Embiid and Ben Simmons last year.
You knew going into the season that they were a team that lacked shooting.
Oh, I thought they were going to be a lot worse. They lost Jimmy Butler and JJ.
I think Josh Richardson.
I thought they were going to be a lot worse than they turned out to be.
Josh Richardson was a good addition.
I like Josh Richardson.
They've gotten help from other people.
He's not Jimmy Butler.
But they're a bad shooting team. And when it caught up with them,
they were a bad shooting team last year.
That's true.
And they got worse.
I think it's caught up to them, honestly.
I don't think it caught up to them. It got worse. They literally took their shooters.
Is their record worse than it was last year?
No. I'm saying is they literally lost their shooters.
That's what
I'm saying.
I'm telling you, it's finally caught up to them. Like you said, they've lost their shooters, and now they were already a bad shooting team last year. It's caught up to them. This is
okay. I got you. Yeah,
it's literally finally it's exposed itself.
Yeah.
So I didn't notice how bad their road record was.
I guess my thing is the simple thing was get shooters. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, I don't understand what the front. I know Elton Brand is new. I get it, but
they had some other plans.
Why are you? Josh Richardson was a great addition.
It was.
It's not enough to replace Jimmy Butler.
It isn't.
Why'd you let Jimmy Butler walk? That's the big question. Because I think if Jimmy Butler's on this team,
they had paid Tobias, and also Jimmy.
Why did you pay Tobias?
You gotta understand, he was a good fit for what they were going for. Positionless basketball, right? He plays.
Tobias has shown us who he is.
He's played 4
Tobias
positions.
is a good player.
He can guard multiple positions. That's what you want. And
can Jimmy Butler not do that?
Well, Jimmy Butler doesn't have Tobias doesn't have an attitude problem. One.
Jimmy Butler has an attitude problem, but Jimmy Butler is a all-star player. Who is a leader.
Tobias has made all-stars.
He's not an all-star player.
But he has made all-stars.
He's not a perennial all-star player.
He isn't.
Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy Butler is...
Year in and year out.
Jimmy Butler, when you rank the small forwards, he's up there. Especially in terms of leadership. Just leadership alone. Like, from a leadership perspective...
He's definitely shown it in Miami.
Would you take Jimmy Butler or Paul George?
Paul George?
I think I would.
From a talent perspective?
Just all perspective.
No,
everything.
I'm taking Paul George. Just not in the playoffs, apparently.
Is it close?
Jimmy Butler.
To me, I fall on Jimmy Butler's side, but I think it's close.
Jimmy has never been in the MVP discussion for me, and I think that's what separates it.
That's fair.
But
I like the heart of Jimmy Butler, the leadership of Jimmy Butler, and he puts up good stats.
I like how real he is. But personally, I believe Tobias isn't that poor of a player. I think it's a lot to tell him he's your third best. He's your technically second best scoring option, but third best player.
What if I told you they wrapped up $259 million in Tobias Harris and Al Horford?
Al really didn't show up this series.
He didn't show up this season.
I don't know what they were going for though. Was it Al at the 5, Embiid at the 5, Al at the 4?
Who knows? Like honestly, that was my question when they signed him. Like you lose JJ Redick, you lose Jimmy Butler, you get Josh Richardson and Al Horford.
I will say when they first signed him, I thought it was a good signing. Simply because I thought if they did Embiid 5, Al Horford 4, that could work. Because Al Horford used to play the 4 back in Atlanta.
Yeah.
But they weren't using him like that. They were bringing him off the bench at times. They were just doing whatever. And then they moved Ben Simmons to the 4. None of it made sense to me. And honestly,
it's a recipe to get your coach fired.
This is what happens.
It's like I feel like they're good coaching away from being a good team.
I feel like
I'm doubting whether we're gonna see them again.
This is what happens. Iteration. This is what happens when your coach asks for one thing and you don't agree with him as a GM and you do it your way.
I mean, he's been the coach since they were like
he's been the process, bro. He's been part of the process.
I feel like they were just like they wanted to stick with him because he'd been there from the start. But at this point, you gotta let him like you have to do something different. If you do something the same thing and the same result happens, you gotta try something else.
I feel like it's hilarious.
And I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but you should do that.
You do it all the time.
I know. You should do that before you get rid of Ben Simmons or Embiid.
Nah, it's gonna happen in kind of one swift move, in my opinion. But this is my situation. They've had Brett Brown through the toughest of times, and they kept saying trust the process. They were so comfortable with him losing that they weren't sure that he could even win. And now that they've given him the team and he's shown up and done this, I think you're right. He has to go. Personally, he's not what they need right now. They need a coach, not of Mike D'Antoni's genius, but even of that tree or pedigree. Someone who's going to come in and run an offense.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the Houston Texans.
What, in Bill O'Brien?
Yes.
Why?
Because every year he seems to get more power, and it's like they just
I don't think Brett Brown has any power.
I think he does. He's been there for like 7 years.
I think he's kind of
most coaches don't last that long,
especially with the amount of losses he has.
Yeah,
but I think he was told,
at some point, you got some pictures on somebody.
Nah, hear me out. I think he was told for at least the first 3 years, lose.
Definitely.
Lose.
Oh, definitely.
And then that's this. You said year 7. He's had a 4-year contract.
I might be capping. It might be a little small. It might be year 5 or year 6.
Like I said, I think
it's definitely up there though.
He was told to lose for the first half of it, and now that they see, even with the team they've tanked for isn't winning, they're like, "Fuck it, They need someone who's gonna put a real team together and run an offense." And Brett Brown doesn't provide that. He lets people do what they want. He lets Ben post up guards.
They need Mark Jackson. I think they need somebody hard nosed. I think because this team could be a gritty team.
If I'm being completely honest, my views of Mike Jackson might be a little biased, only because of what I've seen him do in Golden State. But Mike Jackson's the type of the coach you hire when you don't have a team and you need someone to build a team, because he knows talent. If I'm trying to actually win something, maybe we give him the chance to finally do it, because Golden State cut him a little short.
I think, because that's my thing. Do I think they would have been as successful as with Steve Kerr? No. Do I think they would have eventually won a championship with that?
For sure.
Yes.
Especially if they get KD, is no question.
Like, Mark Jackson is a good coach.
But I heard he's
hard-nosed.
Yeah, right? It causes friction with players.
At this point, you've had this guy being walked over by Ben Simmons. Because I'm telling you, Mark Jackson wouldn't just be like, okay, you're not going to shoot Ben? Okay, we'll work with that. That's not Mark Jackson. Ben Simmons is going to be shooting. He might not like it. He might be putting those jump shots up with a frown, but he's going to be shooting.
With a frown.
Mark Jackson will yank him. He will yank him if he's not shooting shots. Like, you cannot function at this level with Ben Simmons not doing this.
We got to interview Mark Jackson, see how he feels about it. I think that's not.
I mean, you hear it all the time when he's on fucking.
I don't
TNT.
think that's Ben's game, but he definitely has to open up.
It's not
and
his
take
game,
shots.
but come on.
He has to take some shots. It doesn't help the
Just
team
to
that
keep the defense a little honest. Like LeBron learned this.
Is it going in and out for you too?
It is, yeah.
All right, cool. I'm not going crazy. That's fine. But
it should be fine now.
Nah,
but
Ben 1,000% needs to take them threes just to keep the, like you said, the defense
not
honest,
even threes, nah.
Shots.
Like just start
well,
off.
In my opinion,
start off with mid range.
The three
and
ball,
work your way back.
The 3-ball is where he needs to get, and that's how.
My thing is, I don't think he'll ever have the 3-ball.
Ever?
If he can be a mid range shooter,
if he can be
a mid range shooter, that's almost good enough.
He shoots it in preseason though.
That's not good enough.
Come on, bro. He needs to unlock it. It would unlock so much. He'd be an MVP candidate if he gets the 3-ball.
Let's talk about the Premier Series going on right now. NBA's featuring it late night between the Clippers, Mavs, and the Lakers, Trailblazers. I feel like those are the two series that everybody's watching.
A little biased, but nonetheless.
No, because they're literally the games that come on the latest, and it's like the whole day leads up to those two games.
It's most definitely set up that way. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
It's set up that way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of just like back and forthness, because even though the Lakers just won, as we saw or we heard, we didn't see it because I don't have internet at this place yet. Sucks.
I'm not gonna boo anyone, but do we have a boo sound effect?
No, we have this.
That's not what we're. Come on, Nick. There we go.
Hater. Anyway,
I'm a hater. You're mad I got that on one click.
Yeah, I am mad about that. I'm a hater. But anyways, LeBron versus Dame, AD versus
everyone
the rest. Like shit though. And look, it's a compelling series so far because obviously I want the Lakers to win. Laker fan, lifelong, but
I'm not gonna lie.
I have so much respect for this Blazers team.
This Blazers team.
If we lost to this Blazers team, not gonna cap.
You can't cheer against Dame.
I won't cheer. They will become my new loyalty team for this year, just because I'm like, y'all have the best story so far.
Dame is a goddamn baller.
Dame has
no
been
questions
killing it, man. CJ's been doing really well. Nurkic,
he's turned up when they need to. No, Nurkic is the addition they needed more. It's a shame. What's his name?
Nurkic literally elevates them from an 8th seed.
Zach Collins being off for season is the saddest shit, bro. He would have really turned this team into a problem.
I don't think the result would have changed. I think they win or lose regardless of him being on.
I'm telling you.
I like Zach Collins, but I don't think he's really effective.
Putting in Zach Collins instead of Miles Leonard is a big difference.
There's only so many minutes.
They don't have to play Miles Leonard as much.
Yeah, but you already have Nurkic and Hassan.
Zach Collins better than Miles Leonard? Yes or no?
Slightly, yeah. Not overly.
It's better than you think. Trust me. You should look at the minutes per, was it 30? 36? Zach Collins puts up way better numbers.
I'm not saying Zach Collins isn't good, but I don't think he is influencing the series. Whether the Lakers,
it's a better bench, and the Blazers,
an additional body.
I'm about to say the Blazers rotation isn't even that deep.
I like the rotation.
It's smart enough.
I like Gary Trent.
It's useful enough.
Gary Trent's been a valuable piece. Mm-hmm. He's turned into because he wasn't getting minutes like that before the bubble.
It's because of the bubble.
Yeah, the bubble has elevated his status.
Trevor Ariza being hurt, big factor.
Man, if Trevor,
or did he opt out? Was it hurt or opt out?
He opted out, I think.
He opted out?
No, I'm telling you, if Trevor Ariza was on that team,
you'd be significantly worried.
I'd be significantly worried.
You'd be
Trevor Ariza is
a thorn in the Lakers side.
Not even that. No, he won a championship with us.
I was about to say he always comes back to do something against y'all later. I feel like.
Not really.
Really, not in playoff series. I feel like we even thinking.
We haven't really been in the playoffs. No. We haven't been in the playoffs.
No, I think I'm thinking of Trevor v. the Spurs. He always shows up versus the Spurs for some reason.
I think you're right about that. Yeah, you're right. Because he was on the Rockets for a long time.
Maybe it's just because they always play each other, but nonetheless.
Yeah, we haven't been in the playoffs in 8 years. All right, so he hasn't really had to face
my fault. Yeah, y'all can't be there for me to imagine this. My fault. Different dynasty. Yeah. Might be.
Type shit. It's been a while.
I can see why I had that confused.
Trevor Ariza is in my top 5 favorite players of all time.
Wow.
Weirdly.
I mean, he's a hell of a journey, man.
like my favorite role player of all time, hands down. Fucking love Trevor Ariza, man.
Big shot Bob, baby.
Yeah, he's not Big Shot Bob.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh, you're saying Big Shot Bob's your favorite?
That's just such. I mean, he's probably not.
I didn't
my
get to
favorite.
see him play like that. So
I
remember him.
I'm just thinking all-time role players. He just comes to mind instantly.
But Trevor Ariza, it's like his career is so interesting because
he's genuinely been
won
around
a championship with the
teams.
Lakers.
Always been around winning.
Went
teams.
to the Rockets. You remember this? He went to the Rockets as their starring player. Got a huge contract.
That happened.
Wasn't bad. Wasn't great.
It was around that. What's thing that.
Ron Artest was on the team. I think the Lakers traded Ron Artest for him.
He played shooting guard, but he's Steve Francis. He played point guard. That was his era, wasn't it? No. This is like right around there, I swear.
Ironically, Kyle Lowry was on that team.
Yeah, he was. That's young Kyle Lowry
and Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, those are two.
I actually really liked that Rockets team. They were a hurt Yao away from being a playoff team.
It's a situation.
I like them. They had
Yao's career ended sooner than it should have, but that's just how top people work.
You ain't wrong about that. But overall, I think the Lakers have the advantage, obviously. Not just from a 2-1 perspective.
I just think that again.
Huh?
I got to say this shit again.
AD
has to show up every game for y'all to win this series.
I mean, I'm not saying if he shows up, that's a positive. LeBron has to be the person to me.
LeBron wasn't this most recent game.
Because I'll give you a perfect example. If the Blazers win the next game, I'm going to be relying on LeBron for the next 3 potential games.
That's your personal hope. I think LeBron turned up this last game, and it shows in the stat line, but AD was still there. And like I said, AD can't go quiet.
I mean, to be fair, neither of us watched the game.
That's true. We don't know what really went down. But
so I'm not even arguing for LeBron this game because I didn't see.
He had a good stat line, though, so I can't.
He had a good stat line, but stats are deceiving.
38, that's hard to deceive.
I mean, AD had a good game, too.
He did.
And honestly, it's all about when they scored the points.
Like I said, y'all need AD to show up every game. The game he don't, y'all gonna see it's gonna be a turning point. I'll just say that.
As long as AD is making, whether it's 8 of 16, 10 of 20, I'm good with you. Like, just be consistent, bro. LeBron can lead this team. This is what LeBron is here for. This is the reason why LeBron's on this team.
All right, bro.
To get us through these hard times. The Blazers are definitely a hard time. They're going to win at the very minimum one more game in the series. I'm sure of it. I think it's going to be next game, to be honest.
I think y'all got it as far as things persist. Unless AD starts showing up, then you going to hear me.
You think they're going to win the next game?
Who, the Lakers?
Yeah. Monday night?
Yes. I think especially if AD shows up, y'all got it.
I hope you're right.
I think then Dame makes it 3-2, and there's some worry in the air. But it could still go to 7. Don't think it won't.
Yeah, I mean, it's highly possible. I think that Dame, even if he loses this series, man, what a bubble. What a bubble year.
For sure. I mean,
earn that 2K fucking cover this year for sure. Because I remember when I first saw Dame on the cover, I was like, that's an interesting choice. That's interesting.
I immediately thought it was deserved.
I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, deserved, definitely. I love Dame. But it was like kind of, like you could pick a bunch of NBA players like, Dame.
I definitely think it was 1 deserved and 2 couldn't have gone to a better player in such a tight time. I feel like if you don't like Dame, it's on you. And like seeing him on the cover kind of just gave everyone the guy to cheer about.
What about giving it to Kawhi though? Like I
don't even think Kawhi wants it.
I mean, of course. But I'm saying like if you gave it to Kawhi, I feel like that would have fit a little better. Because Kawhi has been more successful than Dame in the past couple years.
Yes.
Because usually the 2K like player is usually somebody who is, it's like a good year for them. Like for example, last year AD went to the Lakers. AD was the talk of the town all season just because just for the drama and shit.
Yeah.
You give AD the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Year before, Giannis. That was Giannis's breakout shit.
Yeah.
So you got to give it to Giannis. Year before, LeBron. It was the year before. I think the year before was when LeBron.
Wouldn't you say Dame probably? I mean, I see how Kawhi's the biggest story.
And look, I'm not saying Dame doesn't deserve it.
Do you think he's not story number 2 after waving off the Thunder like he did? That was headlines when he waved off the Thunder.
Sure. Yeah, I'll give you that. Look, and I'm not arguing that Dame doesn't deserve it. I'm saying when I first saw it, I was like, not Kawhi. That was my reaction. I was
This
like,
is my situation.
But it's Dame still, so I'm not mad about it.
Kawhi obviously said no.
We can agree.
Yeah, it's that simple.
We can agree.
Kawhi obviously said no.
You know what's funny? In the 2K like story mode, there's this mode, not even mode, there's a scene where it's like you're practicing in the gym and Kawhi comes in the gym. And it's like, yo, Kawhi, what's going on? No voice. It just stares at you. He's like, oh, you want to play one-on-one? Just shakes his head.
That had to be part of a joke.
I think it was part of the joke, but also he probably wasn't recording any lines. I think they turned it into a joke.
I feel like he gave them permission to put him in there.
I mean, it's 2K. They have permission every year. Because they do that every year. It was just this year was weird because there was a lot of players who put their voices in.
I don't think he gave them permission to use his voice.
Like they put all the former Lakers in, like Lonzo, Hart, and Kuzma, Ingram, and Ball had a little cutscene.
Oh, that's cool.
And they all had their little voices. Karl Anthony Towns had a cutscene. Paul George had a cutscene. It was like a whole bunch of players, and you see Kawhi, and Kawhi just like
just not
saying nothing because that's how 2K used to be with the story mode. They used to not let anybody talk, and it was just like whenever you see a player, it's like they say nothing. It was always kind of weird. It almost took you out of it. This year they didn't do that, except with
what about
Kawhi.
the Spike Lee one? No one talked in that one, or is it just your rival?
Yeah, it wasn't really focused on the NBA shit, really. Like it was. I didn't play that one full. I thought that one super.
I didn't see
that
it.
one.
I didn't play it.
Super sucked. And I was like looking forward to it. So I'm like, so Spike Lee, we finally get a good 2K story.
Nope. Deeper than rap.
Nope.
I heard it was.
What was his name? It was like, it was something so stupid.
I heard it was deep.
I'll remember it later. That shit was like so corny. And you expect more from Spike Lee.
That's right.
Shouts out to his movie though on Netflix. That shit was super tough.
All right. Well, I think we've done that one.
I think overall, I think we're in for a good playoffs.
I think the next round's going to create even more drama, more topics. Even just seeing out who wins this first round is going to give us something to talk about. But we'll be back. You'll know. I think you're going to realize our third topic once I bring it up. Go ahead. It's going to be funny once I do. But Jon Jones earlier this week vacated the light heavyweight title in MMA news. So sorry for anyone who thought we weren't continuing with sports.
Yeah, sorry, y'all.
Nonetheless, vacated his light heavyweight title. He's trying to get a bigger MMA contract because he believes he is the biggest star in MMA, which I'm not going to disagree with. Plus, MMA is making substantially more money than it was before when he signed his last, I guess, multi-contract fight. I guess that's the term for it. Mm-hmm. So he's trying to get Dana to pay up. Dana doesn't think he's going to pay up, but we'll figure it out. I think he's going to end up paying up. But Jon Jones has said when he comes back, he would like to fight in the heavyweight division, which I'm here for 1,000%, because I think the heavyweight division is only going up. But your topic of choice was the state of the light heavyweight division, which, if I'm being completely honest, is a little quieter than I remember it being.
I think it's the quietest it's been in years.
I can definitely hear that.
Like, honestly, the quietest since I've been following MMA.
I mean, you got Dominic Reyes, who's not a bad fighter. Nope. The last dude to really get a title shot was Anthony Smith, and he folded. Thiago Santos. I mean, Jon Jones has made most of these niggas look like just nothing. So it's.
I think that's the big problem.
That is.
Like, the division literally houses the best pound for pound fighter in the sport.
Mauricio
so it makes everybody else look horrible.
Is at 13. And I honestly forgot his career was still going on. No disrespect to him, but it's at the end. And wow. Yeah, but I mean, you look at the heavyweight division, you got Stipe, Francis Ngannou, Curtis Blades, DC's retired, so I'm going to leave him out. Derek Lewis, Alistair Overeem. I think Alistair's a little overrated, but you still got Junior winning fights. He's getting
old, isn't he?
He is getting old, too. You still got Junior Dos Santos winning. I mean, I think he lost his more recent fight, but nonetheless, Junior Dos Santos still out here. Walt Harris, I think, is a threat, but he lost his most recent fight as well. I mean, I think this division is just ready to burst out, especially me being a big Francis Ngannou fan. But I think if Jon Jones comes up, he will fuck this heavyweight division up. I needed an Ngannou-Jon Jones fight ASAP.
So what do you think him vacating the title means?
I think the light heavyweight division so up for grabs is hilarious. But I also think him going into the heavyweight is pay-per-view money. I think is I can't wait. The heavyweight division is definitely where it's at. Like he's shown the light heavyweight division has nothing more to offer him. They need a reset. They need someone else to come and spice this division up. This division needs an O'Malley.
I mean, shit. His division needs an O'Malley because he's not there no more.
Hey, bro.
For at least like a year, probably, right?
Nah, I'm about to Google it. O'Malley injury. I haven't heard anything about it.
It didn't look good.
It didn't, but maybe it neither did what's his name? Luca's injury. Apparently he's fine.
I mean, O'Malley's injury looked way worse. We saw that live, Nana. That
definitely
shit looked way worse. Yeah, I hope he gets better. I hope he recovers, but I don't see that for another year.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somewhere where it says what the injury is. He apparently has said something about it, though. He said I did everything right. He suffered his first career loss. Yada, yada. Pick the day. Pick the time. I won't say.
Really?
No, I'm not saying anything about how long, like,
damn,
what the injury
I didn't know
was.
they could do that, to be honest. I thought you had to report all injuries.
I know he was getting an MRI.
I mean, shit, it's been 2 weeks at this point. What? Or it's been a week, right?
About.
Yeah, it's been a week. Like, we should. It's been a week exactly, actually. Yeah, we should know. That's either good or bad.
I don't know. Well, we're trying to figure out.
I wish him a speedy recovery. Hopefully he can come back for the end of 2021.
Me too. He's a hell of a fighter. I thought he was on the come up. I was hyping him before the fight too. And then he hurt his fucking leg.
But to go out on a loss and be out for almost a year, it's like that's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
Okay, here we go. We still don't know what the hell happened. The two were
Shit, the doctors do.
With no updates since O'Malley rushed off since the CAT scan. Did he simply step wrong on the foot? Or did a calf kick from Vera damage the nerves of his leg? Conor McGregor's coach, Don Calvin, thinks it's the latter. Leg kick directly into right common perennial nerve, resulting in inability to dorsiflex ankle. I don't even know what the fuck that means. An increasingly common attack in MMA. He's saying Vera actually kicked O'Malley and fucked up a nerve? That's what I'm reading.
Really?
Brian Sutter is a MD in physical medicine and rehabilitation and has a YouTube page where he breaks down sports injuries. He's got a video on the eye poke on Miocic versus Cormier, and he put one together for Sean O'Malley versus Vera too. Sutter breaks down the Les Frank tear injury O'Malley suffered in 2018, which is what Sugar reportedly aggravated in the Vera fight.
Oh, so he aggravated
a Les Frank tear injury.
That makes sense. Man, I'm really hoping that he can make a speedy recovery because what I've seen from him, exciting fighter, Conor 2.0.
He definitely has the talent.
Like he don't have the mouth of Conor, but he definitely has.
Whoa.
He definitely has the potential to be as skilled a fighter at the very least. Not get that bag though. He's not gonna get that Conor bag.
Les Frank injuries can also lead to chronic midfoot instability, so it's possible that all the above just resulted in a perfect storm causing his right leg to just become non-functioning.
I know he has to be salty.
Hey man,
because you didn't really lose to
everything happens for a reason, bro. Stay up.
That's true. But about this light heavyweight though, bro.
Yeah.
So who's pound for pound the best in the division right now?
In the light heavyweight, not named John Jones.
Of course. I mean, I guess we always have to put that caveat.
Don't we, huh?
Yeah.
If I had to put it,
because John Jones can go to heavyweight any day.
Right now, honestly, it's Dominic Reyes.
Dominic Reyes?
Yeah.
I believe that.
I think right now he's the best not named John Jones. Great strength, great ground game.
Gusterson?
Gusterson is he light heavyweight?
Yeah. He's fought John Jones and Cormier. Lost to both, but
he's not even in the top.
I think he was on a losing streak. I think that's why.
How bad is his losing streak? I could have swore he was in a different division.
Wow, he's fought John Jones.
You can move division. Not like you couldn't have lost those and move division.
I mean, he's fought multiple fights at light heavyweight. I assumed he was.
Just Google Gustafsson. Maybe
he's not. I think he's even more impressive to be moving up in weight to face like literally the best fighters.
Nah, you're right. He did have a recent title fight.
He's somebody you can never just like forget about.
Yeah, he's light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Oh no, light heavyweight 2017, 2019, heavyweight 2020.
He's a heavyweight now?
Just changed. Yep.
Really?
Just changed. That's what I thought. I was like, I could have swore he changed divisions.
I didn't know he changed divisions, but shouts out to him. He's always been one of my favorite fighters.
He retired prematurely.
Dang, after what?
The last fight.
Did it say with who?
I think is said retire. It wasn't really to retire from fighting when he called it a career following his loss to Anthony Smith.
I feel like
last summer.
I feel like I saw that fight.
That was a good fight, whole team.
I think I did see that fight.
And now he's come back as a heavyweight.
That is interesting. Because I never pictured him as a heavyweight.
No longer in the light heavyweight division. He's got the body for it. He's pretty big.
He does.
He's a pretty big light heavyweight.
He does. Has he had a fight yet? Heavyweight?
I don't think so.
I want to see that.
I would. I'm ready for it.
I wonder who is he on the lineup? You see?
I haven't seen it. I'd have to look up. But
hopefully he gets on that lineup because one of the best fighters UFC has.
He's definitely got the talent.
Never dominated light heavyweight just because you can't dominate light heavyweight.
I think he beat up the best of the rest, in my opinion.
That's a good way to put it.
He beat up
and he lost against the best.
It's that simple. But now I think if Anthony Smith gets his act together, he's a good prospect. I think he lost to Jones. He took on the Jones title fight a little premature in his career.
I mean, Jones literally looked. It almost looked like a tune-up fight.
It did.
You don't think a tune-up fight should never be a.
He looked like he didn't know what he was expecting. So I think
how could you expect? And you didn't even get
experience, bro.
You didn't even get the best of John Jones.
I think he just needs a little more experience under his belt. He won't be able to win it.
You just don't need to face John Jones that early.
I think he needs a little more experience to be able to put a much better fight. But
I agree.
Anthony Smith.
I hope he gets another shot at John Jones.
Anthony Smith in a division where you don't have to fight John Jones is a dangerous fighter, in my opinion. Even though he did just lose his most recent fight to a person who wasn't named John Jones.
Yeah, I think that if John, I guess I answered my question before. What do you think John Jones vacating the title means?
We're gonna get a interim title shot, if you will, or I guess it will just be a guard title shot.
I'm saying from John Jones' perspective. What do you think that means?
Oh, he's getting his bigger contract and he's going to heavyweight. And he's gonna make some goddamn noise because that's where all the hitters are. Francis Ngannou, John Jones fight is coming if he gets this contract. I can't wait.
It's hard because how marketable is John Jones?
The most, if not top 3 marketable MMA fighters in the game.
Is he, or is a lot of that just based on the fact that he's the best? Because you know what I'm saying? Like John Jones, his talent is so great that you can't not pay him.
Even when he's fucked up, he's in the headlines, if that makes sense. Like, no matter what he does, he's on the papers. And he knows it. Everything he does brings attention.
I just feel like it's, in a weird way, he never, at this stage in his career, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of momentum behind
it. It goes
him.
McGregor, Jones, Khabib, in terms of just pure, like, sell tickets, this is that fighter. Khabib's goddamn undefeated. So
yeah, I mean, I respect that ranking.
Wait,
I'm sorry. Connor, John, Nunes, Khabib.
Respect.
I think I have to put her ahead. She's right now the best of all time.
Respect.
In the women's division.
For sure.
I had to put her over Khabib just because.
I think if you understand what Khabib is doing, you understand. But Nunes was definitely putting up.
I think if he's not under her, they're right there in terms of his popularity.
No, I think she might actually be more popular.
Yeah, she is doing crazy things,
and she's only getting better.
Oh, like she was so raw when she first won the title.
She just keeps getting more dominant. There's no one could touch her.
Yeah, man. She's super just, I guess, like when you look at like Ronda Rousey, for example, like she was good,
but never this dominant.
Never. Like Ronda Rousey was beating up against no names for real. And when she did go up against people who were gonna give her a challenge,
her first L was devastating.
It was the most devastating you could possibly have. It messed up her whole career.
True.
The only impressive victory she had was when I don't even think it happened in UFC. When she broke Misa Tate's I think it was her leg.
I think it was a UFC fight, wasn't it?
It was early UFC fight for her.
All right.
But she broke her leg, and it's like that's because Misha Tate's like she was a good fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So to do that, it's like okay, that's pretty impressive. And then you just curb stomping these random girls, like it's like
she was the better than the rest, bro.
She definitely was, but the division got tight quickly. I still think I would have always loved to see a Rousey versus Cyborg fight, like in their primes.
Yeah.
Obviously now, no.
It's pointless, but
Cyborg, cool. Honestly, I don't think people talk about Cyborg's fall.
I think it wasn't that dramatic, if I'm being honest, because
it all due to Nunes?
In my opinion, she was always strength, and the one chick that was stronger than her was always going to beat her ass.
I don't think Nunes was stronger than her per se.
Nunes
I just
beat her ass.
She did, but I think it was more just efficiency. I don't know if it was just pure strength. If that fight had gone on longer with Cyborg getting into her game,
I think Cyborg always has a chance to fuck you up.
But yeah, that's all I'm saying.
If you look at that fight back, if you run back the film,
she fucked her up. Yeah,
the punches she was landing were not doing the same damage.
Cyborg is not going to do that to Amanda Nunes.
That's facts.
Yeah, but I think Cyborg, if the fight is going a certain way,
I think
Cyborg will tire you out.
I think you got to look at how well Nunes is even able to land her shots when you look at pure strength.
I mean, just in terms of this landing shots, even not from a pure strength perspective, just from an accuracy perspective.
That's part of it, bro.
It is, but that's not the strength part. The accuracy is it's literally what separates her.
She's able.
I don't think she's the strongest woman fighter.
I think she's stronger than Cyborg. That's how strong she is.
I feel like it's questionable. Nah, I think Cyborg was stronger.
I
think Cyborg was not ready to take those hits that quickly. Because that's the thing. I don't understand what some people are expecting. There was that one girl, I think she fought for her name. She took her the distance. Like she took Amanda Nunes the distance. Now she won, but Amanda Nunes didn't just knock her out off rip.
Yeah,
that's her game plan. She's like, I'm gonna try to knock you out.
Like I was saying,
as soon as possible.
Cyborg was one of the strongest women MMA fighters we've seen. And I remember watching that fight and thinking, for once, she's being overpowered.
Well, okay. I get what you're saying. And maybe I'm overselling Cyborg at that point. At that point, you're right.
1v1, she was not winning the power bar strength battle.
Let's say prime Cyborg. You say she's stronger than Amanda Nunes?
Look, I'm talking about the point in time.
I don't think that fight. In that point in time, maybe. I would say Cyborg's still stronger, but just the efficiency of
Nunes.
Yeah, just that was the difference. She came in with a purpose. I'm gonna fuck you up first round. You're not doing anything.
That was a hell of a fight.
Was it? I don't like when those fights happen like that.
I mean, it started good, then it got bad. That's how fights happen.
Especially when I watch them with my father. Because he gets mad. He'll be like, I paid how much? Because that's the one thing about because you don't see that really in boxing. Because boxing, you can knock somebody out in the first round.
It's rare.
Very rare.
It's very rare.
MMA, it's a 50-50 shot.
It can happen whenever.
And if you paid that fucking $80 for that pay-per-view,
you'd be shook. Because that went and it came and it went. That's what I was thinking about. I don't know if today's one was a pay-per-view. It might have been, but it went by pretty quick and I didn't even watch it. I just seen they were already halfway through the main card at 9:30ish.
I mean, not every UFC event's going to be a hitter.
No, they had a lot of knockouts. It was probably an interesting watch.
I mean, shit, we had a hitter last week.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, they had a good amount of knockouts. It was probably a good watch if you saw the whole card. So
honestly, we technically didn't even talk about the heavyweight.
We did,
title. Not the title.
The prospects. Miocic has it.
I know we didn't talk about it. I'm saying because we watched the fight.
Oh, for sure. It's a great fight.
Didn't talk about it, man.
Oh, DC got his eye poked. Apparently
as somebody who's not a DC fan,
he got his shit fucked up. Bro.
Man, he got his shit fucked up.
But
I respect that he fought the way he fought.
Hell of a fight.
He put up a battle, even because he looks slower than usual.
Yeah, we saw that.
but the heart was still there.
DC stuck to his roots, his ways of fighting, and I admire him for that. And honestly, if I'm being honest, he almost stole that fight. He really did. If Miocic doesn't have that melee at the end of the second round, I think it's a DC fight.
I agree with you. But once that happened, I remember you did not look at the time.
No,
you
I was
thought,
like, oh shit.
You thought the fight was over.
I thought it was done. I was like, oh, DC's done, bro.
If I didn't see the time, I would agree with you. But I was like, oh,
nah, he ran.
He
just
has to withstand this little. And like, if the ref literally gave him a TK off that shit,
it would have been pussy.
Man, on DC, you couldn't on DC's last fight.
Not on his last
you couldn't
fight.
do it.
You gotta let him get knocked out.
Yeah, like DC didn't look. With that timing, didn't look like a situation where he was about to get knocked out. And he fought through it after that.
I didn't see the time at all. I was just focused on them hits. Boy, he was getting rocked.
Yeah, man. It was a good fight overall. I mean, obviously, Stipe is Stipe.
Good win. But if we're talking on what's next, Francis Ngannou needs this title fight, bro. I mean, ASAP. I mean, get it right. Francis Ngannou is like this. He really is the truth, bro. He's already number one contender. I think they have Curtis Blades, Derek Lewis next to determine who comes after Ngannou, but Ngakou's next. I don't care what Jones does next. If I'm being completely honest, Jones can sign his contract tomorrow.
See, I'm sorry. No. That's why I part ways. Whatever John Jones does, you give him the title fight automatically. I'm sorry.
I think Ngannou.
I'm sorry. I get it. Hell, have him fight John Jones.
I think
I do that.
What? Oh, that would be so dirty to Ngannou.
How is it dirty? You have to only fight the best to be the best.
Ngannou had been beating the shit out of the rest of the heavyweights, and this nigga comes at the cut like a random ass Pokemon trainer that hunts you down from the cut.
Not this nigga, John Jones. Like, he's the greatest of all time.
You want who? Stipe or Ngannou? Who do you want to fight John Jones?
I want Ngannou to fight him first.
Oh no! Give Ngannou his title fight.
No,
hear me out. No,
it all depends on what John Jones does. But if John Jones says, "I want the number one contender," if you gotta have him fight him, you have to.
If John Jones just waits a couple months,
no,
Stipe gets his title fight. It's a timing thing, in my opinion. So just give Stipe. So
would you rather see John Jones versus Stipe or John Jones versus Ngannou?
John Jones versus Ngannou. Fuck.
Like, you got like
I want one of them to have a title.
That is where the money is, bro.
I want one of them to have a title when they're doing it though. That's my thing. I think Ngannou could be Stipe. That's my thing.
But that's not a surefire bet.
No,
it's not.
Well, I want to see it happen.
It's not a surefire bet. And if Ngannou loses, you lose John versus him. You can't have it anymore.
I'll take the risk. Ngakou's got it. Ngakou's like that. I'm cheering him all the way.
You're fanning him right now?
I might just be biased.
I respect it. I respect it. No, I respect it because look, without John Jones, like, coming into the fold, he's earned the shot. Like,
he's earned the shot, bro.
But if John Jones comes into the fold,
Ngannou been walking niggas down with his fucking cannon for arms, bro. Fuck you heard. And like
would he do that against John Jones?
Fuck no. He gonna have to earn that ass whooping.
I'll say this. I think he could do it against an unmotivated, not working out John Jones.
Whatever that means. I think Ngannou has
We've seen John Jones in a couple fights. You look at him and if
you send him to the heavyweight, he better come prepared or he's going to get knocked the fuck out. Ngannou has the strength to do it. And John Jones is going to be on that motherfucking toes again. That's why he needs the heavyweight. He needs something new to freshen up his life. He's tired of whipping these niggas' asses. Yeah, true story. If John takes his time with the contract dispute, it goes Ngannou, Miocic, Curtis Blades, and Derek Lewis have a fight card coming up. Winner of that gets Ngannou if he wins.
I do have a feeling that contract negotiation is
going to take a minute. It's going to be an impasse.
Because Dana and John don't like each other.
They don't. At all. They care.
And honestly, justifiably on both sides. Because John, I know, has to feel on some level, I'm the greatest of all time.
But he's been getting milked.
And I think that Dana is on some level, you're a fuck up.
He is.
Like, Connor shit. Look, what he did with the tour bus. Look, that was...
He's had running with the polices. Like John Jones has.
John Jones had hit and run. Like, he's hit and run.
Multiple DUIs, I believe. Yeah. A coke incident. Like,
you've had
and no
PED incidents.
And
it's
no
been
other
just
sport.
Drama on drama
I don't think in any other sport he could have stayed but UFC.
That
NBA and NFL would have dropped him.
I don't know about NFL.
What?
NBA, yes, I agree with
DUI?
you. NBA, NFL, I don't agree with you. Yeah.
DUI, my G? Coke?
No.
The list is, he would have been in Roger Goodell's, him and Josh Gordon would have been the same level.
Ray Lewis was in a murder case.
It wasn't a frequent issue.
But what I'm saying is, like, the NFL will excuse a lot. Do we have to talk about Greg Hardy? Do we have to talk about?
Yeah,
Greg
he's
Hardy?
currently an MMA fighter, but I think that says something. He went NFL to MMA.
But I'm saying,
I don't think you can go MMA to NFL.
But what I'm saying is, Greg Hardy had threw his girl on a bed with AKs and got a job with the Cowboys. Like,
where is he now?
Like, if anything,
where is he now?
He's like, man. Oh, look, what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. Maybe not the NFL, with the Cowboys.
Shut up.
The Cowboys. No, the Cowboys, bro. Look up some stories about like
Goodell would have
players,
him on
bro.
such a tight leash.
He
yes
would?
or no?
Yeah, definitely.
Josh Gordon is in that man's penthouse.
Hell, I mean, he get a job with the Cardinals. Get his brother.
That'd be
His
cool.
brother will vouch for him.
That'd be dope.
Their family that's crazy.
Hella athletic. They have a third one, don't they?
Yeah, I think he plays football too.
Yeah. I think he's in the NFL.
Bruh, there's this one story. It's random. We can get back to the third topic, but
no, we don't. I think it's done on there. Unless you want to talk middleweight.
Nah, let me
flyweight. Oh, let me just say this.
Go ahead.
Israel Adesanya is the truth. Anyone who doesn't think so, at me.
I don't think so. I'm atting you. Second round.
You better psych all that, you bitch ass nigga.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Can't wait for his next title fight. But all right, what were you going into?
Young, do you remember? I forgot what his name was. This happened in like 2011. A cowboy was cut because he was caught shoplifting cologne and underwear from a Bloomingdale's.
Give me a name.
What was his name?
You got that in there for a reason.
I forgot his name. That's like one of the funniest stories ever. It's because you know what he was doing. Like, you know why he had to get the cologne and underwear. Because you have a girl at home and shit. And you probably weren't where you're supposed to be the night before. Like,
these are two important things to have.
Maybe you got your wallet taken or something. Maybe you got. And it's like, I need some cologne. I need some underwear.
You couldn't smell like her, that's for sure.
Right. It's like, young. Like the Cowboys.
You don't know his story, Nick?
Nigga, I know that story from that night. Because there's no other way you need anything.
Hey, bro.
Like, why? Those are such specific things to steal.
I just don't know why.
You could do some like mints in there or something.
He had to steal them. That's how bad the situation was. Yeah, couldn't just go home.
And that's some cowboy shit, man. Like the Cowboys are the funniest suspensions, bro. But I digress. I love talking shit about the Cowboys.
I could tell.
Man. Anyways, what's this third topic, bro?
That was the third topic, nigga.
What was the first topic?
What do you mean it was the first topic?
Damn, it was the third topic. Damn, I'm fucking up. Anyways.
You. All right, bro. What are we listening? What are we watching? When are we going to do this?
We're going to do what we're watching, obviously.
Tired.
I know you are. What we watching, bro? What you watching this week?
I haven't seen the Fire Force episode. The God of High School is a much watch. I mean, seriously, though. Like, if you were thinking about watching God of High School, just fucking watch God of High School. That shit is like that. Drop that shit, nigga. What's happening?
I'm about to watch it this week. I'm excited.
Good for you.
I'm about to watch. How many episodes? 7?
It's about to be on 7.
Oh man, 7 straight episodes. Looking forward to it.
Enjoy. Black Clover's still on that filler shit, so we're gonna pick it back up.
We only gotta talk about them,
bro. Oh fuck, so many fillers. We got oh, Nick, I just remembered this. I have been watching a live action TV show, if you will.
Wait. No.
It's the wrong one, you bum ass nigga. What are you going for?
There we go.
To anyone who watches Wentworth, shout out to you. I've been watching Wentworth.
Whoa, wait, I thought we watched that together.
Yes, but I forgot to tell you I never stopped watching that. I just be watching it every summer.
Wait.
Every time a new season drops, I binge it. A new season's coming.
Nah.
What?
It still comes on.
Wait, you haven't known this?
No.
You thought it stopped? What season did you stop at?
Maybe season 3.
Nigga! Oh, there's so many more. It kept getting. Oh, Nick, we have to divert so much.
Yo,
energy.
no. Go into what Wentworth is, bro.
Bro, Wentworth.
Go into it, bro.
If you fuck with the Orange is the New Black, just
so
know there's a much better version, and it's Australian, and it is heat. It's heat. Absolute heat. Shout out all my homies who put me on, bro. Wentworth is that show, bro.
Young Wentworth, bro.
Wentworth, another season is supposed to be coming out this summer. I think we're on our 7th or 8th, if I'm being honest, this show just continued to be heat.
Honestly, that might be the news of the fucking year. That was my shit. I don't even, honestly, it went off of Netflix.
Bro.
And when it went off of Netflix, I don't know. I just stopped following it. But
Sites
God,
got it.
God,
Sites
bro.
got it. Sites got it. I'm about to send you a link. Something, bro.
Send me that link, bro.
Bro,
oh my
Wentworth
God,
is
bro.
that show.
Damn, that puts my whole week into question now. God, because I was trying to get into God High School. Fuck.
It's gonna be quick. God, it's gonna be quick. But Nick,
I'll probably get out the way first. Yeah,
Wentworth is gonna take some time because boy, you can't even watch too many episodes of Wentworth in a row because it'd be fucking up your mental, bro.
That couch behind you, bro. Sitting here, probably invite a friend over.
It's
watch
a wrap.
Season after season
It's
for the next weeks, bro.
Wrap,
oh my goodness,
it's about to be a wrap.
Wow.
Yeah,
right, bro.
I'm happy I brought that up. No cap.
Absolutely.
Because I completely forgot to bring that up last time. But
that was
JoJo's Bizarre Adventures is picking up. And yeah, bro, nothing too special. Same old. Fire Force is getting better. I can't wait to see the directions going. We got black people. It's dope.
We got black people.
Nah, they weren't in the first season, but I mean they were in the first season, but now there's like multiple black people, and it's like wow.
Whoa.
It's like a Naruto where there was a whole clan of them almost, where it's like oh shit, there's more of y'all.
I honestly, that kind of blew me
because there were a whole clan that were in the first 100 some episodes
and one rap.
Well, 70.
I'm like,
of course he was with the bars and bars only.
I was like, really?
He spoke in bars.
We're what? 400 episodes in?
He spoke in bars.
Like, yeah, that was honestly like kind of like if they introduced them maybe in like the like original Naruto, maybe it's like just a aside, you know what I'm saying?
It's a surprise. There's a whole group of black people. And guess what? One strong is peace and bars.
Oh my
but I'll tell you what,
man.
that lariat, that was that move.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's really just a clothesline, but that shit would tear your head off.
It was an electric clothesline. It was like a clothesline and a spear.
It really would take your head off. That's the real fun.
Shit. Nah, that was a dope wrestler. It wasn't even a jutsu.
It would really. I mean, it was, but he just put all the energy in his arm.
He was running up to the nigga.
I promise. He just put all the energy in his arm because they were fast as shit. He would tear your head off.
That was funny as shit. It wasn't even.
They would fuck niggas chest up with that shit. The double lariat, niggas would be like, "How did I survive?"
My thing is when it really mattered though, we didn't really do anything.
Nah, niggas would always be too strong.
It was always all hype, no like substance.
Nah, there was one nigga that got a fucking lariat and had his chest blew in, but I think he recovered.
Lauderer definitely ate that shit.
Yeah, that happened.
He's like lariat. No.
Try again.
But
nonetheless,
what else you been watching, fool?
The list ain't too long. BNA, here we go. Nick told me to watch BNA. I thought I haven't finished by now, but I got 2 more episodes to go. This show is too woke for its own good, y'all. I'm not talking like fight the power woke. I'm talking like this shit takes human tropes, puts it in these beastmen, if you will. It's our stories. It's our situation. It's just reflected back into us. It's kind of so woke it's good. But at the end of the day, I haven't finished it yet. So I'm expecting a good ending. And I think it's not Studio Trigger's best work plot-wise, but it looks fantastic. You gotta give that for what it is. It's good animation. I mean, they've generally taken what I thought gave you like Saturday morning cartoon vibes and just completely let the dark side in. And now I'm here for all of it.
I just fuck with the vibe of the show.
It can switch.
I think I like the
quick.
vibe more than the actual story.
When they're fighting the motherfucking well, I don't want to spoil anything, but when they're fighting a certain type of beast,
and
I
know what you're talking about.
That motherfucker starts stomping niggas out. I'm like, yes, this is Studio Trigger at heart. They're all about the full on no hold bars, give it to us, blood action fights, bro, and I love that.
Yeah, I think it is. I like it a little more than you do, obviously, but
I've seen the ending. I think that's the difference, personally.
But even when I was at the point you were at, I was fiending for the ending.
Really?
Like I was already like, this is good as fuck.
I think because I have a little more history watching Studio Trigger, I kind of already know. I'm almost braced, if you will, for impact because I know some shit's coming. But like even the way they're trying to hit toward this, whatever the surprise ending is, I'm like, yo, they've completely unraveled the old world they set up for us almost.
You got a hell of a twist left.
And I will say, after seeing SSS Gridman,
You told me to watch that, right?
No, I told you I wouldn't recommend.
Oh, don't recommend that one.
But I will tell you.
Recommend Kill la Kill.
Yes, that.
Which I've already seen like 8 episodes of.
You need to. I'll tell you the episode. The show really only takes off till 12 or 13. I think I told you that.
Okay, I will get into that eventually.
Nigga, I'm telling you, that's an ending. If you like the Kami Got Kills ending, that's an ending, bro. I think that's where Studio Trigger found like that's where they got their recipe for their endings. Because if this ending is how you say it is, you'll love Kill la Kill's ending. I ran that shit back in disbelief.
Got you.
But damn, if we just talking what I've been watching, the list dies out slowly. I've been on YouTube here and there, just finding shit to keep me occupied. Maybe trying to find out what my next anime is. You feel me? Feel free to recommend some shit. You feel me? Maybe you be the deciding voice that gets me to pick up some shit. But I'm supposed to be going back to live action TV soon, so
I got better be quick, nigga.
You bet. Look, when Whitworth comes back, I'll drop anime straight up, no questions asked.
Man, you need to get on because what I'll say right now, I think we are in a renaissance, not just of like live action TV, but superhero live action TV.
I will say streaming services going crazy right now.
But just off the superhero, because if I just list the superhero shows, we got number one, Watchmen. Watchmen is the best show I've seen overall in the past like 5 years.
Word.
Just so wild. And some people don't like it. I loved it. Just because I love the original movie. I love the original comic. And where they took the story is
I did like the movie.
If you like the movie, you love the show.
That's good.
And, that's number one to me. Umbrella Academy.
Word. We're not going to pretend like you haven't talked about that. I have been wanting to watch The Boys.
You should. Honestly, I think you really fuck with The Boys.
It seems like that dark type of humor.
It is. There's one scene that happens in the first episode that I'm not going to spoil.
Spoil it.
I won't spoil it. But it's like, if you know The Flash, I've always asked this question of momentum when it comes to The Flash. And that's all I'll say. The Boys answers that question
immediately.
Immediately. It's the crux of the whole show.
That's cool.
And I like it. It's a deconstruction of like,
what's funny enough? Shit. I found that show so much interesting. I started learning about the characters before I started reading the show.
I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
I definitely do that sometimes. Like, especially with anime.
There's one character I'm really fond of, but he doesn't talk. I forget. Black something.
I knew exactly something.
I'm already
honestly, like, he's such a random ass character.
I'm so fond of him already.
There's a lot of great characters in that show, especially Homelander. Homelander is just the like obvious favorite of the show.
I heard he's a dick.
He's literally what Superman would be in real life.
That's funny.
Because like you look at Henry Cavill, like Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Like, that's how a wholesome person would be as Superman. But
Superman
what if somebody who was just kind of a dick got that powerful and became like, this, God.
Almighty figure that never knows.
And
wrong.
how would other people feel about him?
He's a dick. He's a do-it-all.
Like, imagine if that man takes your bitch. Like, what are you about to do? And that's the show. That's why I love The Boys. Definite watch. Doom Patrol.
Word.
Were you done? I just want to make sure you were done before you.
Oh no, for sure. I got nothing else to say.
So I was watching Doom. I watched the first couple episodes of Doom Patrol this week. Interesting ass show, to say the least.
Word.
Well, I wouldn't say it deconstructs like the superhero genre. It lives in it comfortably. I think it's one of DC's best shows.
Mm-hmm.
I like that DC has branched off away from the Arrowverse, and they're making more.
Oh, finally! I used to watch the Arrow shit.
I did too, but it's too wholesome.
It was doing too much.
It's doing too much, and it's too cable TV. That's the best way to put
sure.
It. Like Doom Patrol, it's in the second season now, but it's one of the newer shows that DC's made. It's taken on that mature lane that like HBO operates and everything. I think it's actually an HBO exclusive now.
Really?
Because it used to come on DC Universe Online, and that basically got folded into HBO Max. So Doom Patrol is now on HBO Max. It's a great show. Highly recommended. But what I want to recommend this week, man.
What's up?
I seen 2 movies, bro.
Okay.
These 2 movies are directed by the same person. His name is Roger. I want to get his name right. Roger Egers.
Okay.
These are his only 2 films so far.
Really? Just it? Just 2 films?
He's had a history, I believe, as a screenwriter, and he's 37, so he's been in the industry for a little bit. He released a movie in 2015 called The Witch. That's the one I watched first. That's on Netflix.
Word.
This movie is fucking insane. They're horror movies.
Okay.
And they're very like intimate horror movies. Like they're not like jump at you, try to scare you type.
They get into the details.
So the movie starts off with.
You're not gonna answer my question?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
They get into the details, huh?
They get into the details?
Yeah, like that type of scary.
Yes, they get into the details, but not of like what they're afraid of, but who these characters are.
Gotcha.
So the movie starts off with this family. They're a Puritan family.
Oh, you're gonna get into describing the movie, Nick?
I'm not gonna spoil the movie.
I'm just saying you did this before.
I'm not gonna spoil the movie.
All right, Nick.
If you think about, like I think it was like 1700s, like people leaving the English church. You know what I'm saying? Like it was people like Puritans leaving the English church, living in the forest and everything. This family lives in the forest. The movie starts off. This happens in the first 3 minutes, so not really spoiling.
Nick.
It just sets the vibe of the movie.
Nick.
That's all I'll say.
Nick.
So basically when why did I lose my train of thought?
Good.
So when damn. Can I get the movies mixed up? Sorry. Okay, so I'll cut all this out.
You better.
No, I'll leave all the fuck ups actually. But so let's pretend there's this girl and she has a family, right? Puritan family. The mother just birthed a new baby. She's playing with the baby, playing peekaboo with the baby. Peekaboo, 1, peekaboo, 2.
You're extra as fuck. Describe the fucking film, Nick.
1 more. Peekaboo.
Nick!
Baby's gone. It's the forest. And then you get a cut to the baby literally just being sacrificed by some witches. And you get the movie going from there. It creates and like that little situation, it's simple, right? But it creates this whole slew of doubt, like, did our daughter kill the baby? Like, did she lose her? Is the devil behind this? What's going on? It's like these people are questioning their faith.
It's confusion off rips.
And it's the whole movie. And it's like, it's literally these witches fucking with this family in so many different ways.
All right,
like
cool.
that's just the one thing they do. There's so many different things they do. They tear this family apart. And it's like you're just here for it.
All right.
I don't like horror movies like that. I was forced to watch this by somebody. But I was watching it, I'm like, this is crazy. This is scarier than if I just saw like the witches just like jumping out trying to scare us.
It was
because you don't really see the witches. It's just when they do shit, it matters and it sucks. So highly recommended. And when I saw the movie, I was like, yo, what else has this man done? Does he have a whole catalog type shit?
Found the other movie.
Just one movie. Now this next movie and the other movie doesn't really have anybody in it, not any main people. Next movie has Green Goblin himself, William Dafoe. You know who William Dafoe is?
I know, it's the Green Goblin.
Green Goblin, he was an Aquaman. You know who he is.
Yep.
And then you have Robert Pattinson.
Yep.
So you have these two niggas who essentially have to work as lighthouse, like they maintain the lighthouses that the government owns.
Sure.
One of them, he talks like Mr. Krabs, like legit. Like William Dafoe talks exactly like Mr. Krabs. You can barely kind of understand what he's saying sometimes.
All right.
He's like he's a sailor. Like he sounds, and he's like, he speaks in parables. And Robert Pattinson is just a young dude trying to work his job. And it's just seeing them go mad in this lighthouse and the conversations that they have, where it's like they go from, I would say like relating to each other to downright hating each other. Meanwhile, you kind of get the sense that either both of them are going crazy or one of them is going crazy and you don't know which one.
That's tough.
It's weird because like some shit will happen in the movie and then one of the characters will say, well, you've been doing this shit for the past 2 weeks. And it's like, we just saw this for like one scene. Is he lying? Is he crazy? Or has he actually been doing this shit for 2 weeks? And it's like you lose track of time because a significant event happens in the movie and it causes them to lose track of time of how long like things are going on. So it's like, while we only see things for one scene, it could have been going on for 2 weeks and we won't know, because there's signs that both of them are going. I'll say this: Robert Pattinson starts to become crazy. It seems because the movie is very open ended. Like, we really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Robert Pattinson seems to go crazy. William Dafoe is crazy off rip. Just the shit he says and does is like, wow. But it's like, who is telling the truth? Who's lying? Who's actually going crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we get to the end, it's just, I'd say the end kind of let me down a little bit.
Word.
But the trip to get, like, the Witches ending was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The Lighthouse ending, I would say, let me down a little bit. I was like, oh, okay. I could have done without that. But I respect these 2 hours that I put into this movie. So
fair enough.
Both highly recommended. One's on Netflix. One's the Witch is on Netflix. The Lighthouse is on Prime.
Mm.
So it's everywhere on the streets.
Word.
So watch some shits.
Brought to you by a street next to you.
Brought to you. Anyways, the other thing I've been watching, I don't think I brought this up last week. Agame Got Killed.
Did you not?
I don't think I brought the ending.
Oh, cool.
So, no spoilers. Amazing ending.
It really is.
Probably the best way you could have possibly ended that anime. Because there are a lot of times in anime where it's like, it will end. And I'm just like,
I think they really tied all the knots.
I almost think that they wrote the ending first. It's almost because the ending is so perfect.
It's a really well written story.
Right.
I generally think in a term of storytelling, not a lot of anime could have done that.
No, I can't name many anime off the top of my head that I'm like, the story. Because even my favorite animes don't have the best ending.
No, I think that story only works if you have great side characters, for sure.
And I will say, they might have one of the best rosters of side characters in an anime. And
they're able, I'll tell you right now, if you're planning on watching the anime, don't get attached. Take that as you will.
Yeah. No. The only thing I would say I don't like about the anime, and this is not an issue that it could have changed. I guess the writer could have changed it. I wish it were longer, man. I think this anime was primed for 2 seasons.
I will say, I generally finished this anime and was looking for another like season, another like spin-off, something.
Yeah, it's like it ends too quick, and I feel like we wrap it up too quickly too. Because because it's a clear point within the anime where this is the final battle, and I'm like, really?
Right now?
Yeah, it's like I could use another like 10 episodes.
Nah, you only get that feeling when it's a good anime, man.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
It just comes.
Like I feel like that's stopping it from being a 5 out of 5 to me.
Gurren Lagann, you need to watch next. You're gonna get that same type of energy, man.
Well, I won't say that's next. That's on the slate.
Hey man, it's a long list, man. But yeah, it'll give you that same type of vibes.
Man. And then besides that, I've been playing, but the games I play are pretty much story games, so it's almost like what you've been watching.
Yeah, make whatever excuse you need to plug them in. Of
course. I'm playing Wolfenstein, the new Colossus.
Sure.
I don't know if you ever heard of Wolfenstein.
Nope.
Just super brief. Literally, it's just a future where the Nazis won World War II.
That's interesting.
But it's not taking place in the now future. It takes place in like the 1960s.
Okay.
So it's like the Nazis have won. They have transformed America into Germany, basically. The Ku Klux Klan is like the police.
Ooh.
So it's a rough time. And you are BJ Blazkowicz. He is a Nazi killer. It's almost as if Inglourious Bastards was turned into a game.
Got you.
So I love it. I get to kill Nazis for 20 hours.
It's a feel good one.
It's a great game. First person shooter. So if you like first person shooters, pick it up. I got it on sale for $5.
That's a good price.
So yeah, it's not a game I pay $60 for, but shit, $5 and 20 hours of story. Great story, by the way. It's one of the best video game stories I played so far. You know, my video game career.
Ooh, his whole career.
My whole career. But overall, highly recommended. If you want to, I would say, even if you want to just watch a YouTube walkthrough, not even play the game, just watch the story, type it in, look it up. Like it's worth it. Definitely worth the watch. But what you been listening to? Let's get to listening, bro. What you been listening to this week?
Nothing.
Really? Nothing?
Nah, that's hating statements.
Nothing substantial?
I wouldn't say it's not a quiet week for music. This one's definitely shit to listen to. There was nothing that really jumped out and caught my eye per se that made me go like, yes, this is what I've been feeling for. Like, I mean, look, that's a personal preference type of thing.
Of course.
But
this is all personal preference.
Blockboy GB dropped a track. I thought it was actually much better than I thought it was gonna be. His music's really hit or miss for me. Jay-Z and Pharrell Williams dropped a track.
How was that? I didn't listen to that.
You listened to it?
It seemed like something I wasn't gonna fuck with because it was like it was like for something.
You know the Beyonce Black is King joint?
I know you were talking about.
I didn't listen to it either, but it sounded like it belonged off there. Like it was more Black Power focused. Like it wasn't that bad of a track. I just thought it was more it belonged with something, a project, a theme of some kind. It was just
I think it was released for charity or something like that.
It was just dropped out the blue, but kudos to them.
I remember when it was released, I saw it was like released for so and so, and I'm like, okay, cool. Probably something I'm not gonna listen to.
I didn't see the message behind it, but it was an okay track. I like Jay-Z's verse. Pharrell was doing a little much, but it was good vibes.
True.
Vic Mensa dropped the tape.
I heard about that.
I listened to it. The whole thing's not a hit to me. There's definitely some songs I will take away from that. I like the outro. I thought he was very honest on it. I think he's got this me versus the world approach he's got on it, especially after he's feeling a little canceled after he tried to beef with a dead person. But you can't really beef with dead people. No one's gonna think that's cool.
Who was he beefing with?
He had his little X beef where he called out X.
I feel like hip hop has forgotten about that.
Well, he didn't, and he'll let you know on this tape.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people were really like super mad at him. Like maybe like the X fans
listen to
were.
the tape. People, he feels like the game tried to cancel him, and I see what he was saying. People genuinely attacked him for going after X, but he was making his points. Okay. He was dead though. You can't really call out dead people.
You can't.
It's an unwritten rule apparently. But
I mean, I don't like people calling out dead people, but it's not a career ender. It's not a Tory Lanez.
Like situation. I said, he's letting his emotions known on this. But I liked how honest he was on this tape. Some songs are hits, some songs are missed, but it's not anything you throw into album of the year contender. I think you should just listen to it, enjoy it for what it is. But maybe you're a big Biz Manson fan and this is what you've always wanted. I said generally some good tracks, but I listened to Nas shit. I did not finish the whole thing. I think I'm gonna let Nick speak on it because I don't feel as strongly as I do. Maybe I gotta listen to it again on the Whooper Rooney back to the cribbo. But
right.
For the most part, I've kind of delved back into some older music. I remembered how good Drake's 30 for 30 freestyle was.
Really?
You might have to run that back, if not for the beat alone.
I play that track a lot.
Just the way he talks on it. I mean, his delivery on it. I really think that was like.
It's one of my Well, I say it's bad, of course not. But in terms of like those type of tracks for him, that's on my on the scale of those type of tracks, like where he's just rapping over like one of those like.
I mean that beat, man.
Like it's really not better than any of like the whatever in PM songs.
Oh no, not at all. But I
feel like it was on that way.
It was supposed to be on that lane, but in my opinion, that's one of his better produced. If we are putting it in that lane, that's one of his better produced tracks there. Right. And he's not even really saying anything about it as much as he's just kind of really got one of his smoother flows going. I just remembered how much I really appreciated the song for what it was. But
got you.
Just delving down in old music, trying to find some new shit I haven't listened to in a little bit, trying to find some new things I haven't listened to at all. So, we just keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Yeah, what's you been on, bro?
I'm just going to this Nas shit, man.
Go ahead, bro.
So, I'm a huge Nas fan. But that comes with a caveat that, like, whenever he releases something, I'm critical of it because to me, Nas hasn't dropped a good album since 2012.
Oof.
But he hasn't really dropped anything. That's the thing. Like, he dropped the Kanye album 2 years ago, Nasir.
You wasn't a big fan of that?
Awful, in my opinion. Yeah.
Awful. That's tough.
Awful.
I didn't listen to it.
I thought it was a match made in heaven, and it wasn't. He didn't get the Kanye. I don't even think it was Kanye's fault as much as they just weren't on the same wavelength.
Tough.
It literally sounded like I could see a situation where they took some of the verses from other beats and put them on those beats, and that's how it was. Like it didn't. it wasn't like a consistent project.
Got you.
I didn't like a lot of the beats on there too. Like, there was a bunch of beats that I'm just like, this sounds like something that somebody rejected type shit.
Rejected. Oh no.
Like, it didn't sound as good as any of the beats off of Daytona.
I believe that.
It didn't sound as good as any of the beats off of Yay or Kid See Ghost.
You still getting recorded? I don't hear me. That's the only reason I asked.
I hope so.
Damn, I suck. I feel bad.
Absolutely are recording.
All right, cool. I'll cut you off. Definitely didn't hear you.
No,
But,
you good. But,
go ahead.
You know, that album was super disappointing to me overall. It was.
I can see why you'd have high hopes for it. Great producer.
Yeah, you have questionably the best producer in hip hop of our generation.
One of the more influential ones for sure.
And then you have debatably one of the best rappers of all time.
In my opinion, one of the best known lyricists.
Yeah, so you would think that would be a match made in heaven. It wasn't. That would be forgotten in the footnote of hip hop history.
It is what it is.
And the next year he drops the Lost Tapes 2, which if you're a big Nas fan, you listen to the Lost Tapes 1, you know what releasing something called the Lost Tapes 2 means. It has to be a bang. It has to be a banger. It has to be classic level, because the first Lost Tapes is some of Nas's best work, contains some of his best tracks ever. Lost Tapes 2 is a solid project, but I hear a lot of solid projects. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear a lot of solid projects.
You weren't expecting just your average solid project from Nas.
It got play all week. And after that week, I started noticing, like, this is not as good as I wish it was.
Damn.
You know? It has a good Kanye beat on there. It has a Kanye beat that's better than anything off of the Kanye album with him. But
the throwaways.
Yeah, and you know, it's Nas, so I hold him to a different standard. I'm like, yo, like,
it'd be like that.
This album is the best shit he's released, in my opinion, since like 2012. Yeah, like, because Life is Good is amazing to me. Like, that's one of my favorite albums of all time. Just in terms of the time frame it came in, it was when I really started getting into like lyrical rap. And Nas just released this banger of a project back in 2012. Great songs. Daughters is on there. Fucking Cherry Wine's on there. So many great Nas songs. Gotcha. This album, from a production standpoint, is the best production Nas has ever rapped on, period.
Oof.
And I don't think
a lot of the work, if not all of it.
All of it. I don't think it's even close. Like, I really don't. Because the one thing that you could always debate with Nas, like, because a lot of people would debate Nas and Jay-Z.
Mm-hmm.
Off top, you have to say Jay-Z has better beats. Off top, you have to get that out the way.
Word. Jay-Z
picks the best beat. He's one of the best beat pickers in general.
Got you.
Nas is not. Nas picks beats that he can flow over, you know, but they're not world-stopping beats.
Gotcha.
You're there for Nas lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you're getting. This album was a marriage of great beats, and I would say a less skilled Nas, because Nas is not as great as he was back, you know, when he was in his prime. Nah, dropped his mic and shit.
Shut up, Nick. No one needed that. I caught it and everything.
You caught that shit like Odell.
Nigga, damn right I did. I could not afford to let that just go.
Odell with the right, Julio with the left. It's not just, man.
Go ahead, you was talking. I wasn't even talking.
It's gonna be like, that's gonna be picked up in the mic.
Of course.
So I'm just gonna wait till you
patiently.
I've been patiently waiting for niggas to show me.
What a cash though. Oh, my nose.
Don't be surprised if she asks with a kiss shit.
Yeah, it's definitely getting clipped. Well,
we're at 2 hours and 4 minutes.
Yeah, let's hurry up and this.
We're making good time.
Nah, let's hurry up and this bitch.
I mean, we're on the last topic,
aren't we though?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Unless you have something out the wazoo you want to bring up.
Fuck no, baby. All right, we're back.
Don't call me baby. Anyways.
Don't tell me what to do.
Don't call me baby. Anyways.
Baby.
Anyways. So overall, this is the beats on here, and I'm gonna name some tracks that I think you should definitely check out, because
I told her slow down.
What'd you say?
baby.
If you don't want to listen to the whole album, just listen to 27 Summers. I swear that is a banger of a beat.
Nah, that was a good beat. I remember looking at my phone like, that's the title of this track. Interesting name of this track.
Oh, you heard that track?
I did. I got that far.
That beat is
That was
insane.
a phenomenal song, actually.
And honestly, that's the first track I heard from the album.
What? You didn't go in order from start to finish?
No, after that song.
Oh,
that was just on my somebody sent it to me on Snap.
oh,
Like, yo, like one of my friends who likes Nas, like, yo, this is the album, and I played that song, and I'm like, I need to listen to it now. Like,
nah,
I need
played
it
it
now.
from start to finish personally, and I didn't even finish it. So haha on me. But nah, when I got to 27 Summers, that definitely was one of the first songs where I was looking at my phone like, this is it.
No, that beat is a banger. If you like great production, just listen to that song alone.
For sure.
But overall, the album, man, Nas did his damn thing on here. His best album, at least since 20. I think it's better than Life is Good. And Life is Good is great and everything. I like the production on here better than most Nas albums. I'm sorry. It's hard because when you get to those 90s records, it's a little...
with yourself, Nick.
No. Because when you get to the 90s records, it's like, do I like the production here better than like Illmatic? Sure. But Illmatic's beats are so timeless that I can't like sit there and say,
Are these timeless?
No, I can't say it's because timeless. We have to have time pass.
Do you think they can be timeless?
Sure, yeah, but time has to pass.
That's
time is the only way we can determine that. Illmatic has proven the test of time.
All right,
like I can still bump Illmatic to this day and like still catch a vibe because the beats on there are so. I mean, he has some of the best producers.
I'll
ever.
be surprised that this tape is remembered as well as Illmatic is, but I think
it
that's a
won't.
timing thing.
Oh, it absolutely won't.
That's a timing thing. That's all it is.
I think, yeah, it absolutely won't. It's not a classic tape because This is not the same Nas. This is an older Nas. Like he is not rapping about the same things he was rapping about in '94.
That's natural.
But overall, great tape. Listen to it if you like lyrical hip hop. If you like nice production, give it a chance. Overall, though, I'm done. That's really, honestly, like you, this hadn't really been like, I don't think we both either listened to it, but Travis dropped some shit.
I listened to it. The song for the Tenet movie. I like the beat. I think he needs a feature. His second verse was pretty dope in my opinion.
I honestly think we can say that about a lot of recent Travis songs.
Highest in the Room?
Definitely high. Oh, Highest in the Room is like the prime example.
What? I liked the remix with the
It took some people.
I didn't like Lil Baby's verse.
No, I'm saying it took some people. I mean, even that, like, I like that version better than the original version.
I do like, I forget her name.
Rosalina.
What?
Rosalina.
That was Rosalia.
Maybe you're right.
All right. I think I am right.
I won't doubt. I'm not going to argue that one.
Yeah,
I really
Rosalia's.
I don't think I've ever heard her name pronounced.
I believe it's not like you might need a Spanish accent. But Rosalia, her feature was tough. I didn't like Lil Baby's verse. Thought it was unnecessary. But nah, I think if you look at Astro World, a lot of the songs Travis had no feature. I think were perfect with no feature. So,
I'm trying to think.
Astro Thunder.
I feel Astro Thunder has Thundercat though.
Is he a feature?
Yes.
Okay.
The bass guitar is a feature.
Whatever.
Like, he's the only person who I'd say that
count
for.
Count that as you want to count that.
It's like that's the only song I'd even argue because every other song it needs a feature.
All right.
Stargazing, I guess, is a great song without a feature.
So I guess. Oh my God. Move on, Nick.
But like what was that song? It's controversial. Coffee Bean to me is okay. I don't go back to it like that.
That's shocking to that.
And learning that Sci-Hi wrote it, I'm like, oh, like when I find out that like other artists write personal songs like that, I'm like, that's a little kind of like weird.
I don't think you ever looked at Travis as a lyricist, so
I don't. But when you're talking about personal shit, it's like
it was a personal track.
It's like you had somebody else write that.
Hey man, poetry comes from all.
That's like when I heard that Kanye didn't write Violent Crimes. I was like, really? That's like there's a bunch of lines in there that's like you didn't write that.
You could tell he has some input. Hopefully.
I mean, did he? Maybe the dude just read the headlines.
Fingers crossed, ain't it?
The dude just read the headlines. But yeah, overall, I want to listen to that. You said it was okay.
I really like the beat.
Did it sound like futuristic?
It's a movie beat.
Okay. I'll give it.
Like I said, Travis's second verse is better than his first, and it needed a feature.
Okay, I'll give it. I'm still riding the high off of last week's best single, the Drake Dirk shit.
It's a great song. I can't.
I feel like I played that song more than any new song this week.
I would not argue if you said that was the best song that dropped this week and it dropped last week.
It might as well drop this week, man.
Look, I told
Nana, I gave hard marks to the video,
and
it still deserves hard marks.
What is it now, Nick? Though
I've gone back to a 4.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. I'm sorry,
Nick.
Yeah, I had to think about it. Ian convinced me.
Why? Because of the route?
Yeah, he ran that horrible route.
And the podcast.
It's time. You know, this is our look. We listened to the criticism. This is gonna be a shorter. It's about, I think we coming in a little under 2 hours. A little under 2 hours this week.
Shout out to everyone who thought I wasn't gonna press that button.
Look, man, you already knew Nana was about to press that button somehow, some way. It was destined. Sir. It was destined. It's gonna rain tomorrow. Nana gonna press that button at some point in the podcast.
Death, taxes, and.
But hey, we gonna deal with it. I'm dealing with it like the rest of y'all.
Y'all ain't special.
Anyways, man, this has been a great.
Much love to y'all though.
It's been a great day. You know what I'm saying? For me, it's been a long day, but it's been, good. A lot of shit happening.
It's been a long time.
It's a little difficult getting this podcast on the road today, but we got it. We got it through. We made it our shortest one.
God, I'm sleeping.
Man, you should look at Nana right now, bro.
I mean, not even.
Nana looks dead.
Thank you.
He's doing this for y'all, so
for the hustle.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Catch me on Snapchat at NYKOTT, all lowercase, no spaces. You already know, nothing new, nothing special. Same shit, different day. We hustling out here.
Excellent. Follow me on Twitter at @THA Real Thomas. Follow me on SoundCloud at the year 4000. You know what I'm saying? Got some good beats. I'll mix your tracks. I'll master your tracks. Just say the word.
He got you.
It's been a good week.
Wait.
What?
Drop that beat, Nick.